finding those levels too. Look at that four-punch combination.
It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. And Shakur meeting them with straight left hand.
Oh, and there's a knockdown scored with the left hand.
Right now, we're gonna give him his just due. Shout out to my brother Jusdueboxing.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme's sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the family. How y'all feeling on this good Monday? We back to build on this boxing and give it its just due. We on a little bit early because we do what we want. You know, we do what we want. Just a little early. Y'all double tap the screen, hit the like button, sub to the channel, turn your notifications on, support the build because we're going to get to it, man. I got some questions today, man. First, we're going to get into the news that we already know is out there pertaining to Crawford. You know, we all seen it, the celebration basically that they threw for him for beating Canelo Alvarez, right? They threw another celebration. If you follow his career, you'll know this ain't the first time they did it. Where the Errol Spence fight gave him a key to the city, and they followed up this time. They done it this time, right? Gave him another celebration, key to the city. And, you know, I guess later on that night or whatever, you know, this guy finds himself being pulled over and held at gunpoint. And, you know, I seen the video being spread everywhere. I seen a lot of different comments. I seen people takes on it. I ain't really feeling the excuses, bro. Look, Omaha, Nebraska, people always, they joke and they clown about how, you know, it's not that big. It's not that many people in Omaha, right? Well, one of the biggest names and most known recognizable people in the sport, not in just the sport, that should be recognized in Omaha is Terence Crawford. Now, look, I ain't saying that it's no chance in the world that, you know, a regular civilian or something couldn't have known who Bud was, but a police officer and at a date where you you know, at a time where my bad, y'all. At a time where they just celebrated him, and you got to think, I don't think it was an officer in the city that wasn't privy to the celebration, right? From a trickle down, from a message, a walkie-talkie, right? You just getting the message that, yo, it's gonna be this event, right? And think about how many people was there. Like, you probably had a fraction of the people from Omaha there, right? Like, everybody was there to celebrate this man, because let's not make no mistake about it. Terence Crawford is not your run-of-the-mill fighter. I don't care what his hater want to tell you. I had to turn my camera on today for this shit. I had to turn my camera. I had to make sure people see me today on this one. Yeah, despite what these weird ass boxing fans and these naysayers, these people that will never accomplish something like what Terence Crawford did. Yeah, he's not a run-of-the-mill fighter, despite what any of those idiots would say. You know, those people are not happy with life, bro. So his town, his people, they celebrated him again, and rightfully so. They should have, right? They got a lot to be proud of. You celebrating a man that just went down the history books. What are we talking about? Talking about when it's all said and done, his name is going to be up there with the who's of boxing. I don't care how you try to slice it, draw it up. Resume this, they don't like him that. I'm hearing all this weird stuff about, you know, he's not relatable to black people. Bro, that couldn't be more ignorant. What does most of his whole team represent? His whole team makes up what? Black people. That means what? People are getting opportunities, right? He win, they win. He looking out for them. He paying it forward in boxing. He just got the key to the city the second time around, right? You get me? He look out for his community and his people. You tell me again how that's not being relatable when you making an impact. Think about the motivation that and the life that he breathed into all these different careers with doing what he just did. You had Bruce Shushu Carrington. Shout out to Bruce Shushu. Shout out to Showbiz. He interviewed him. You had him up there talking about he wanted to do what Crawford did. You get what I'm saying? Like shit like that. That's what he does for the sport of boxing. That's what he do for his people, the ones that really see him in the right kind of light. The ones that really see that, hey, man, when it come to boxing, when it come to being a world-class athlete, man, it's nobody doing it better than Terence Bud Crawford. You could sit there and hate. You can try to minimize what he did. You could try to downplay it. You could try to create any dialogue that make you feel good at home. But that man is a success story to anybody that's paying attention, bro. And there's no other way you can try to slice it. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's nasty work that a guy that has done nothing but do it the right way. I ain't saying he perfect, right? But he ain't deserve being pulled over at no gunpoint on his birthday. You know what I mean? What should have been one of his, you know, the best days of his life could have turned out to be something terrible, right? Like this dude actively had his finger on the trigger, bro. That shit could have went bad. And y'all really in these chats justifying and talking about how he ain't relatable to black people and, you know, how he's not aware of the times and all this. No, they not aware of the times. They not aware of the times. Man, if that man couldn't have got any other day where he wouldn't have had to worry about something like that, it should have been that day, his birthday, let alone a whole celebration. No, those officers are not aware of the times. Because, I mean, they say it all the time. It ain't that much going on in Omaha besides the Cornhuskers, right? The college football team, right? And Bud Crawford, man. So the fact that you got officers of any caliber pulling up and not being aware of who you pulling over and what you doing, and even if it wasn't him, why treat it that way? Why do it? Why do it like that? So again, man, I level with Bud Crawford. I rock with him because unlike many, you know, I could just see the talent and I could just appreciate it as that, right? And understand what he meant, what he mean to boxing, bro, and how he's a one-of-one kind of talent, a generational talent. When he leave, it's gonna be a little gap. I ain't saying it can't be filled, but people gonna miss the fact that, you know, you have somebody that was able to do it his way and win and be at the top of his game all the way pretty much till he left the sport, right? I just don't see how people could find a way not to appreciate that in today's boxing. And then you got, you know, people just almost justifying it, right? Because I guess they had a handgun that was on the floorboard or whatever the case. but they were, you know, legally permitted to be able to carry a firearm. So there's no justification to that, man. It's nasty work, man. They got to do better. These police officers got to do better. The ones in Omaha, them dudes need to be stripped of their badges, bro. They don't even deserve to carry a badge. The way they carried that situation and treated that man like he was some type of criminal or something. When he's been dead, like this man has been on a legit fucking press run. There's no way you're not familiar or understanding where he at. The man was on CNN talking about the fight. CNN, and y'all don't know who he is. Y'all not familiar. Y'all nah, just another one of those guys, huh? Just another one of them people to y'all. I ain't rocking with it, bro. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get to this other conversation that these people losing their minds about. We're gonna get to this fantasy fight that shouldn't be a fantasy fight, but it is one. Al Booger, what it do? Skills, my brother, what's good with it? Shout out to Jose, what's good with it? Peace, Brody. Blessings to you and the family as well. Son of God, my dog, was good with it. Reef was good, bro. Plat boy in the building. So now I have to turn the camera on because they got to see me today. I be high. I be feeling like I'm hiding from y'all anyway. I be needing to leave the camera on more anyway so they can know it's somebody real back here talking. Plat boy, homemade chicken soup and just doing it too. Shout out to my dog, man. Hope everything good with you. Shout out to Jose. Yeah, it was messed up how they did it. You know what I'm saying? Came out of there with his life, which is a great thing. Shout out to the homie Al Booger, man. Different kind of special. James Valdez said Bud versus Johnny Beck would be fire. Absolutely would. Shout out to Jay Howard, my guy, popped through in the building. Man, y'all make sure y'all sub to the channel. If you got a wrench in here, you a moderator in here, moderate the chat for your boy. Hold me down. Hit that like button. Make sure these good people is remembering to hit that like button and sub to the channel. We're going to talk about this. So like I said, man, y'all all seen it. By now, I'm gonna still play the video. I got to for what it's worth, man. This was nasty work.
Stepping out, seatbelt. Step out. I'm opening the door. You can take mine off me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up. I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Step out. Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they wild. Bro, like, you serious? Like, all this ain't necessary. Yeah, y'all already know this ain't no AI. Talk to him, Reef. You know it, man. It's your boy, man. I gotta pop on his camera sometimes, man, because like I said, I be feeling like I'm hot, and then we gotta talk about it. You know, over here, everything is about building on boxing, not tearing it down. Like, I think if we all see everything the same way, we can't learn no shit. You know, so I'm gonna always speak for the other side that's not the majority, that's not the popular side. And when it comes to that topic, you know who's not the popular topic. You know who's not the popular side, should I say? You know what I'm saying? When man should have all that power, that is a fact too. We're gonna talk about it. But look, shout out to Bud Crawford, man. Nasty work. Like I said, he went on a whole press tour, interviews galore, out the ass. Like I said, the man hit CNN. He been everywhere. There was no way in hell y'all ain't know who he was or what was up. You know what I'm saying? I just think y'all ignorant, and people don't care at the end of the day. They don't care about putting people's lives and you know, livelihood situations at risk for their lack of, you know, for their ignorance, should I say. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that you still got to deal with shit like that in the sport, man. It's weak too. But like I said, the good thing is he got up out of there with his life. And that's what mattered the most, man. And his people are good. And hopefully that didn't put a damper to what was a great day. You know what I'm saying? They try to issue this statement. And shout out to my brother Kyle Cooler. How you feeling, bro? Damon was good with it. Gave him his night wake-up call on side his birthday. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I'm telling you. They put out this little statement and shit, you know, trying to say about he was reckless driving. Now, look, I get it. Nobody's above the rules, birthday or not, whether you made history or not, no matter how many, you know, divisions you became undisputed, right? You don't get to break the rules and you're not above the law. But again, I don't think that warranted that reaction. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to try to overanalyze it. I ain't going to say like them people need to be, I just think they need to be suspended, badges stripped, something, man. The lack of awareness, the way they handled the situation, and everybody know you seeing that shit on camera. That's not the way you do that, man. And you see this right here. They saying all of these guys, police confirmed that all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if that's the reason that they try to say they drew because they seen weapons, they still mishandled the situation, and it could have went terribly bad, and it would have been no need for that. That was a guy that was up to, he wasn't up to no BS. He wasn't on BS timing, right? He might have just been having a little bit of fun, and could you blame him? Shit, man. He just had a hell of a training camp. Just fought one of the best fighters in the world. He just made history again on their ass. You right? Just got the key to the city again for the second time. Like that. That calls for a celebration, man. So you're gonna be a little excited, man. But with that, like I said, at the end of the night, it should have never had to be. It should have never had to be a matter of him getting any type of gun pulled to him, right? Guns to his head. Like, that's wild. Like I said, we don't got to keep playing the video. Y'all know what it is with that. And it's just weird, man. Like, shit like this is dope, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not just the three in the picture. We already know how they rock. Them Olympians, Oh, well, shit, Bud wasn't even Olympic, but Clarissa and Shakur, how they rock. So if they in the building, Bud somewhere close by. You know what I'm saying? And they on Terence, like, look at that. They on Terence Bud Crawford Street is crazy. Hey, this is not your average Joe right here, bro. This is not your average Joe. All I'm saying is that celebration that they gave him was well-deserved, bro. For well-deserved. All the work he put in, just his people recognizing him, man. And like I said, them damn cops should have recognized him too. They idiots for that. And I hope they was reprimanded at least something, like, right? I hope they, got their asses handed to them or something for that, because that was nasty. That would have went bad, bro. You had the damn, what was it, the mayor of the city and everybody like up there talking to this man, bro. Like, you, the who's, like, you would have to be living under a rock in Omaha to not know who he was. Cops too. Come on, bro. Y'all know what it was, man. Talking about something, we know, we identified Mr. Crawford. Like, man, yeah, man, y'all should have known what was up, bro. What's wrong with y'all damn idiots, man? You knew what they just worked overtime for this event, but pull them over with guns drawn. Yeah, they drew on my guy Bud Crawford, man. Like, this dude could have had PTSD, you never know. Like, remember, he already survived the shot. Like, he got to be subjected to this. Is wild. Nasty work. Omaha PD or whatever y'all is. Man, that man got a street, man. A street after him, bro. He won. That's all he won. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Y'all cops don't know who he is. The man got a street, man. He got a street, bro. He got a Terence Bud Crawford street, bro. Out there, man. Damn, man. Yo, them cops should all have to spar Terence Crawford one by one, bro. He should be able to spar every fight, every one of them cops one by one, yo. Especially the one with the gun out. Spar his ass, bud. Beat his ass. He said them laws were Canelo fans. Mr. Finesse, them laws was Canelo fans. They was hot. They still were pissed off about that fight. That man got a street named after him, G. A whole street. You hear me? A whole street. Huh? That's greatness right there, man. Y'all better appreciate that, Omaha. That's one of the best things y'all got going out there. Talking about, we didn't know who he was. Bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit. What rock was y'all living under Omaha? We ain't buying it, y'all. We ain't letting them say that. Y'all knew who it was. You know what I'm saying? Y'all knew who it was. If y'all wanted an autograph, bro, it was a different way to do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bud, man. Not to make light of it. I'm glad he good. Glad him, his people, and everybody in the car, everybody traveling with him was good. Yeah, it's not a whole lot you could say, man. Those people just gotta know better, man. You gotta, what they call it? Situation awareness, right? Like, how y'all don't know that y'all pulling over one of the absolute best things that happened to your town? How you don't know that? Man, bro, what y'all watch? Nah, shame on y'all, bro. What y'all watch? What them officers watch, man? What kind of sports they watching, bro? Out there in Omaha, you got two choices, bro. You got the Cornhuskers and you got Bud. That's it. And you don't get to choose nothing. Cornhuskers and Bud. You know what I'm saying? I know you know both of them. That's all. He literally, they walked him out, bro. The team walked him out. I forgot about that. Remember that. The team walked him out, bro. He had the whole jersey on with the name on the back and everything. I think it was the number 7. They had him with the jersey and everything. Ain't no way y'all ain't know who he was. He hitting CNN, all the sports outlets. You getting what I'm saying? This podcast, that podcast, the city celebrating him on the news. Nah, y'all knew who Terence Bud Crawford was. Y'all just mad because y'all ain't got no street named after y'all, which I hating asses, man. Gonna do my guy Budrick like that, man. Know what I'm saying? He ain't deserve that, all the work he put in. And again, man, I ain't gonna spend too much time on this, but I'll say this too. Like I said, bro, I don't rock with the notion that he's not relatable, right? To any kind of people. It don't have to just be black. I think he's relatable to anybody that understands his why, his backstory, and what he's about. And like I said, I'm not to speak for his personal life and his shortcomings, but him as a fighter, him as an athlete in the sport of boxing, he represents that shit at the absolute highest level. There's not a higher level that you could represent boxing. You get what I'm saying? Than where Bud Crawford is at. He is currently 38 years old and still at the pinnacle of the sport, bro. That shit is it's nothing short of spectacular. It's amazing. It's impressive, right? It's history making. It's mind blowing, right? That's generational shit that you're seeing. That's special. That's all I'm saying, bro. That when you look at Bud Crawford, just know that, bro. It ain't gotta be your favorite fighter. You ain't gotta think he better than this one or that one. You ain't gotta think he on the Mount Rushmore of boxing, right? But when it comes to this era, when it comes to this specific era of boxing, he was one of the coldest. There's nothing to really debate about that. You can try to minimize him all you want. His biggest challenges that he's ever had in his career, he's proved a shit ton of people wrong. You get what I'm saying? All the way, you know, from Earl Spence to Canelo Alvarez, still proving people wrong, right? They asking this man to fight light heavyweights at this point to prove that you great, bud. So that's how you know you great. The man has proved it. I don't think if you're a real sports fan out there, you understand that and you respect it, right? And you could genuinely today tip your hat to Bud Crawford because of what he did and contribute to the sport of boxing. If you really love boxing like that. If you don't, and you just love fighters specifically more than the sport, then maybe you got some issue with Bud Crawford and the praise that he getting, right? Maybe you don't have a problem with him getting held at gunpoint. Maybe you feel like he didn't know, he's not aware of the times, or I hear all types of ridiculousness, but at the end of the day, he done it the right way. And if you had a son or a daughter or somebody that you knew, you know what I'm saying, that somebody that you represented that was in the sport of boxing putting on the way Terence Crawford has been putting on, you will be proud. You will be, you know, bragging about the guy. You'll be telling people about him. And you probably be celebrating him too. Shit, it was probably from Omaha. You was there at the parade, you know what I'm saying, at that celebration for that man, because you should have been, right? You know what I mean? Wasn't too many other places to been. Good energy, Bud, man. Just good to see him get his just due, man. Finally get his just due. 38 years old, you get what I'm saying? Finally getting his flowers. And then they almost messed up what was supposed to be, like I said, one of the best days ever for that man. But cooler heads prevailed, and he was able to make it up out of there. So that's all that mattered. You know what I'm saying? On to the next for Bud, man. But we gonna all find out what's really next for him. And speaking of Bud, before we move on to this other topic, I'm gonna play this interview from Bomac in regards that Bomac spoke about, you know, his future and what he got left. Shout out to my homie Cat Sports. How you feeling, bro? The box story and my baby girl, the queen, Miss Just Do is in the building. Shout out to Kaz, man. How you feeling, bro? Tay, Canelo undergoing surgery. Is he? Shout out to Tay, man. How you feeling? Is he really? But let's play this, man. Let's shout out to Bomac. Let's hear what he had to say, man.
Bomac, first, congrats on the win with Terence. I'm just, curious. What was the plan to fight Canelo that night?
Just keep turning him.
Yeah.
Keep turning him. Keep him on the inside. Southpaws. Or if you fight in a southpaw, or you fight up 8 in the southpaw stand, I always want to keep him on the inside.
The other fighter.
Yeah, take away the right hand. Your left hand to be travel a shorter distance than his right hand. So his right hand got to come across your body.
Yeah.
The left hand, your left hand goes straight down the pipe.
Elbow surgery, huh?
Real easy.
Again, contact.
Was there anything that surprised you about the fight? No.
In my speech I did up there, I said, yeah, exactly everything that we worked on in camp, he did it. Punch selection, catch and release, everything.
Bud really a master at this
power
shit.
of Canelo, and those turned out to be
We've
like
ever worked with
non-factors in the
Davis.
fight.
Right. He had a great strength condition. Worked with the guys at UFC, didn't he? Chat. So that's one thing that I was concerned about going into the fight.
Y'all double tap that
So I
screen,
told
man.
you
Hit the
guys,
like button, support the grind, sub to the
make
channel,
sure he can
man.
absorb that power. He absorbed it very well.
Now, you as a coach, how happy are you for him to get this achievement, and for
I'm
you as
definitely
well?
happy.
You know.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy for him. You know,
Let's go, Bo. And Bo we trust, damn it. And Bo we trust.
Can't take it away from him.
You hear me?
Does this one mean more to you
And
than
Bo
the other
we
ones?
trust, damn it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance of going there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know,
And Bo we trust,
I asked
damn
Bud
it.
this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this a signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Eating during the interview,
the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo
he
one.
got
hell
me
yeah.
on the-
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
He was going to get beat. Surprised me.
And you hear once again, talk
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because,
You hear me?
you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
Talk to him, bud.
As his trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? They made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder.
Talk that
You know what I'm
shit, bro. Made it look easy.
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
They make them 5 weight divisions. There's not many people there.
That'd be
It's just
great.
Oscar and
Me
Manny.
too, Al.
That'd be great.
Me too.
If not, do you think he
I'm
stays at
telling you,
160?
Sal,
Would you
making
want to
me
see him stay
hungry,
at
bro.
160?
Making me hungry.
I don't know. We'll see.
In terms of just overall, I know a lot has been said about Terence now being amongst the greatest fighters in history. Where do you rank him? Should we rank him like that? Is it difficult because, you know, eras?
Now, I'll say when you say name the best fighters ever in the history of boxing, you're gonna have to say Ray Robinson. You're gonna have to say Jack Dempsey. Then you gotta say Terence Crawford. He's up there.
Talk to him, bro.
Definitely up there.
Talk to him, bro.
Wasn't it you to be able to train someone like that?
It's great, man.
Watch out, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go.
I appreciate everybody coming out.
So look, man, y'all got the gist of it. Look, man, take y'all booger pickers. Yeah. Well, I don't know which one y'all be picking y'all nose with, and just double tap the screen one time. Once. Boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Double tap the screen. Boom, boom. So that was Bo Mack again, man. He was speaking about Crawford. He said shit. He made it look so easy. He got about 2 or 3 more in him. I think he could make a run with 2 or 3 more fights. I ain't gonna lie to you. Where he decided to go, it remains to be seen. 168, I don't think is the plan for him. I think he said out his mouth, Canelo was the only guy that he was looking to fight at 68. The only other thing I think is 60. I don't think he's going back to 54. He's already said that. So he ain't doing that. So that's out. 54 is out. The Boots talk is dead. He ain't fighting Boots either. He killed that. So it's all up to Crawford. Like Bo Mack said, it's early. He don't know. It's whatever he decide. And I mean, shit, this Canelo situation manifested itself out of nowhere. Maybe he'll manifest another run. Terence Crawford is that great. And I ain't gonna mind. I wouldn't mind him being if you I don't know how y'all chat showing up. If not, close out the chat, hit that like button. Yo, you already know, sub to the channel if you new. Talk to your boy. Had to turn the camera on today because we got to build on this. We got to talk about this, man. It's a lot of chitter chatter, you know what I mean, in this boxing space. But look, I just wanted to make sure I gave Bud Crawford his just due, man. We with you, Bud. We see what happened. Hopefully they got reprimanded and you was able to enjoy the rest of your evening like you deserve to. You put in a lot of work for the sport. I think everybody that's a genuine fan of the sport of boxing should be able to salute you. I think everybody should be able to salute you. You did. You feel me? Oh shit. Oh, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, so you were showing like that. So some people's not, I guess. That's what that is. All right, bet. Appreciate you. So yeah, man, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Oh, you was tripping. It was like that. I got you. We're gonna get to it. Yeah, we doing vertical lives, man. Y'all just double tap the screen, sub to the channel. Y'all know, support the bill. We're gonna get to it. But yeah, we know Bud was done wrong, man. Anybody justifying it nasty work, I could understand reckless driving, being pulled over, seeing guns, being a little spooked, but to pull a gun out, point it at somebody, have your hand around the trigger, you just asking for a bad situation, or you just asking for something to go from bad to worse, right? And we glad that didn't happen, and everybody was able to move on. If we able to see Bud in 2 or 3 more fights, I think that'd be a blessing to the sport. I think he's been nothing but a constant professional and a prime example and the epitome of what it means to be an elite level world-class champion inside and outside the ring, and paying it forward to the younger fighters, you know what I'm saying, today, the Shakurs, the Keyshawn's, the Kelvins, right, the DB3s, all those guys, right? He's showing a lot of love to them, right? His camp is full of those kind of guys that y'all say he's not relatable to. He's been paying it forward for years on end. Helping out, being a pillar of his community, right? Just a stand-up dude. And I think, like I said, if you had somebody that was in the sport of boxing and they did it that way and they career read out the way Bud Crawford's read out, you're going to have to tip your hat. You're going to have to. Everybody in Omaha knows Bud, right? Except for them silly-ass cops. They silly. Oster 40. What it do, homie? How you feeling? But, like I said, man, yeah, hopefully he found a way to finish getting his just due that night, man. Yeah, they had to. It's like you just, how don't you know? You didn't, like, damn, bro. Like, no updates, no sense of awareness, no situation awareness, as they call it, right? It's like Family Dollar, McDonald's, In and Out, the gas station, same strip, can't miss it. I'm tired. As small as hell, they know what was up. Y'all know what was up. Y'all know a superstar when y'all see one, but like I said, man, they had to know, and I ain't buying the fact that they didn't. It's hard not to. It's hard not to know the biggest name in the city, one of the biggest names out there, for real. You know what I mean? I think the who's of the town know him, right? So maybe those cops was some nobodies, huh? Maybe there was some nobodies trying to be some somebodies, man. Hold on.
You're gonna get proved wrong right now. Go left hook. I throw hard. Go left hook. Go ahead. All right.
Like, this is the guy that Bud is.
Huh? Hey, you're going next.
I know, but I'm just saying, huh?
How many shots we got? How many shots?
You did it hard.
It is hard.
Oh, Bud. Go ahead. That's
It's only gonna take
go ahead.
It's only gonna take me 1. You did 4 hooks.
You told me to do 4.
I don't give a f.
Do 4. Do 4.
I don't need to do 4. I just need to do 1.
Do 4.
Tell him, Bud.
Hey, go again.
Hold up. Ask him who hit harder. Hold up.
No. You can't. Hold up. You can't.
Yours is more compact and power. Your guy's got power.
He's saying, Matt, you hear what he's saying? He said he throws better. That's from experience.
Yo, that's how competitive that guy is. That's the guy that you want around boxing for as long as he's willing to be around boxing. So hey, son of God, let me find out them cops is on the Nello payroll, huh? Let me find out them cops was on the Nello payroll.
Payday. You want payday? I know that.
Yeah. Who ended up? He got that payday and them belts. You dig? And he got the second key to the city. So go ahead, cry in the car, be mad. We don't care. G, you did. No, I mean, we celebrate Bud Crawford over here. We love to see what he did, man. But let's keep going though, man. Let's I ain't gonna hold y'all because I don't know how long we're gonna be on today, but we're gonna build while we here. So let's talk about it. Double tap the screen, hit the damn like button for your boy. Don't hate watch the program, share the live, all that good stuff, bro. Subscribe, take your booger pickers. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, double tap the screen and let's get to this, man. So look, it's been a lot of talks of more recently. Like we all seen Shakur and Tank Davis going back and forth on Twitter for the umpteenth time. And it was a lot. It's just like any other time. But you know what? This time was a little bit different. I think it was even more takeaways this time than it was the last time. And look, I hear it, man. I hear y'all out there, man. Y'all standing on y'all squares with this whole Turki Alashikh is bad for boxing. And I beg to differ. I'm not gonna say he's great for boxing, but you know, with his help and the persistence of Bud Crawford, with them two in tandem together, they got Canelo on board with making a fight that he said on record he wouldn't get credit for. He didn't want. Remember, he said he didn't want to do business with Turki Alashikh. He didn't like how he talked, right? He was very like standoffish, closed off, much how Gervonta Tank Davis is now, right? I think that all changed once an opportunity presented itself for Canelo with Turki, right? I think that all changed once he obviously decided to sit down and hear him out. And you kind of heard his tone changing, right? He went from saying he don't like how he talk and he don't want to do business with him to saying that if it makes sense, he'll sit down and do business with him, right? This is what he said. So eventually you just seen him make one of the biggest fights that we just got in boxing that was free on Netflix. You get what I'm saying? Manuel, what it do, homie? Get me? So, and we all know Canelo is also looked at as one of the faces of the sport. We also know that Gervonta Davis holds that name as well, right? That title as well. Those are two guys that are really making an impact. Gervonta Davis for the smaller guys for sure. You know, with Canelo having his people, Mexico behind him, it's hard to rival that, right? But Tank Davis do very well for those smaller guys. 135 down. You know what I mean? Even from guys at 47 on down, like he holding it down. He's an attraction. He's been selling tickets. He's been a part of some big fights, breaking his own gates. Pay-per-view numbers been good. All types of stuff, right? $1 million plus pay-per-view with him and Ryan. And he's always done that, staying loyal to his side, right? He's been able to get and do everything he's accomplished, staying loyal to his people. So when somebody speaks on behalf of Gervonta Davis or maybe one of his fans, they say, hey, just do, man. So he loyal to his own people, bro. He loyal to Al. He loyal to the PBC. And I tell you, like, it's nothing wrong with that loyalty, bro. It's nothing wrong with being loyal to the same people that put you in position to get you where you at, right? But I would also say is necessarily doing business with Turki Alashikh being disloyal to Al Heyman. And the reason I asked that question, because see, people being their emotions, their feelings, they don't know how to have conversations. It got to be one-way dialogue. If I don't see everything the way you see it, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not real. Over here, we're gonna make this shit make some type of sense. Is it really being disloyal to Al Heyman if he decides to work with him, right? Because what do we know about Turki Alashikh? He's worked with several PBC fighters. He's been working with the PBC, right? So that's telling me, if not Al Heyman directly, somebody of importance over there in PBC, probably Louis de Cubas, is somebody maybe that he's been in contact with. Maybe that's how he's been able to facilitate and have certain PBC fighters, you know what I'm saying, fighting on his cards and different things like that. We've seen this. We've seen this happen. So what I'm saying is you've seen some type of open line of communication or some type of business dealings with Turki Alashikh and the PBC, right? So when people tell me, well, he's staying loyal to his people, like I said, I don't have a problem with being loyal to your people, but it's necessarily seeking out other opportunities, being disloyal to your people, right? If your people already seemingly have done business with that guy on the other side. And that's why I say, man, it all depends on how you looking at this thing. I'm not against nobody staying loyal to the cause and to their people. And like, bro, I think it was Jay Howard. Shout out to Jay Howard if you're still in the building. I think you mentioned it in the comment section a second ago. He said if Al Heyman told him to work with Turki, he'd do it. He's staying loyal to Al. I totally understand that. But to me, it just seems like without Tank's approval, it's not going to go. I don't think Al Heyman has to be the one to, push him over there if he don't want to go. He already seems standoffish, right? He's referred to Saudi Arabia and Turki Alashikh, and what they're doing over there is as some type of cult, right? He said people sold out. So even in his own mind, he don't see a reason to go over there. And then listen to the things that he say, the breadcrumbs he dropped. Well, look, I sell where I'm from. They got to go over there because they can't sell. Basically, like they need that guy. I don't need him. I'm good where I'm at. And maybe it's that approach that will forever possibly stop him from ever working with this guy. But I don't understand why everybody is against it when you seeing Turki Alashikh as being the reason why some of these fights are happening. I'm not going to give him credit for everything like some of these other guys do, but you've seen him be a part of some of the fights. He gave us the Dimitri Bivol and the Better Beef, right? He just gave us Canelo and Crawford on Netflix, right? They put that thing together. All I'm saying is one thing for sure, two things for certain when it comes to Turki Alashikh, you don't normally hear guys are not getting paid their worth or their just due. And one of the things that I've heard all the time when it pertains to fighting Shakur is, we're not going to take a pay cut and we not the B-side, right? Like, ain't nobody sending nothing to us or dictating no terms. And I know, people feel like if he were to work with Turki Alashikh, that would just benefit Shakur. I think it would benefit both parties if the business makes sense, right? If you could get past petty grievances like thinking Turki is out to get you and out to cheat you and put you in a situation where you lose. They were just saying this shit about Terence Crawford, bro. They were saying it. You can go pull up the videos of people and delete them. They were just saying, bro, he gonna set Crawford up to lose. Initially they were saying Crawford was his boy. That's why he was holding hands. That's why he was standing right there next to Turki. You see, he wasn't holding hands with Canelo. That's because he wanted Crawford to win. Then as it's getting closer to the fight, the narrative switched and they started saying Canelo Alvarez, because he got longer in the sport, Turki Alashikh want him to win, right? So you kept hearing people say they were going to set Terence Crawford up to lose, but did that happen, my people? Did Turki Alashikh have any impact on the outcome of that fight? As we all just watched one of the fights in the highest level. That was an undisputed title fight at 168 pounds, and it could have went terribly wrong for the challenger in Terence Bud Crawford, but it didn't. Turki Alashikh could have had his handprints all over the fight. Did he do it? I seen that he had zero impact on that fight. That was the matter of the best man winning that night. He had no impact on that. So all I'm saying is, I think it's a bit of paranoia to assume that just because he would work with Tank, that he would somehow just cheat him on the scorecards or jerk him out of the fight. I don't think that would be the situation. And then furthermore, is it completely crazy for Tank to do business with them or have some type of communication? Because we've seen it with Calvin Ford and them. Calvin Ford got to meet him, dapped him up. They exchanged pleasantries. They look like they would have no problem working together. That's the guy that coaches them. All I'm getting at, I'm saying all of this to say, I think what it boils down to is the individual fighter. And if he sees that as something that's worth him doing, right? If I guess if you don't have an Al Heyman per se advising you to go over there and do that business, then you probably never do it because of how he feels about the guy. He like, yo, that's a cult over there. These dudes sold out. They some sellouts. I can sell here. They can't. They need them. I don't. It's one of them situations where it's like Give me a reason to want to do business with him. And I get that. But like I said, first things first, it got to be some type of line of communication, bro. You can't think that you go from send me 2 Ferraris to 3 Ferraris to, oh, he's going to send you $100 million. That's not even realistic. I'm pretty sure no business deal in boxing ever got done that way. It's about what the fighter wants and what he wants to pursue. And if he's loyal to his people and his people don't see a reason for him to go over there, then why would they advise for him to go over there? It's ultimately going to be up to him. It's going to be up to him and what he wants to do. It ain't going to be no, well, he can't work with Turki Alashikh and Shakur know that. No, we know that's not true. If Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest stars in the sport, one of the biggest names in the sport, can work with Turki Alashikh, and we know what kind of money and revenue he bring in, then so could Tank Davis. I think he could at least consider it. I'm not saying he has to do it and it's the end all be all, and if he don't do it, then he's scared and he don't really want. I'm not saying none of that. But y'all these narratives got to stop. At some point, y'all super fans got to start being real with yourselves. And y'all got to start saying when 2 fighters want to fight, they fight. Simple and plain. People like to highlight the 30 fights that he had, the 31 fights that he had. And I'll say this all the time, y'all. How did those 31 fights get made? Preferably the ones that are on pay-per-view, the bigger fights, right? The ones where you got to come out your pocket. He wanted to fight these guys. Y'all people at home think when somebody, if I say, should I speak for me? If I say, I don't think he wants to fight a guy, then that means he's scared or some kind of, he a sucker or he ducking. No, man. If a fighter is being asked repeatedly about another guy and he never has anything good to say, or he never says, you know what, I actually want to fight that dude, I have reason to believe he don't want to fight him. Whether that's an ego or pride thing, whether he really has convinced himself and the people that's in his corner has convinced him that guy is somehow not on your level, so you don't have to fight him or entertain a fight with him. I don't know what it is, but I can safely say with confidence, with no hate in my blood, no slander towards Tank Davis whatsoever, no smut on his name, I can comfortably say, based on his energy, the way he answers a question, and the moves that he make, that he don't want that fight. Now, the why is up to your imagination, bro. I'll let you decide the why. But if a guy, let's switch gears. Let's say hypothetically it was Shakur Stevenson being asked the question, right? He was the A side. IB, what's good, homie? How you feeling? Boxing with 2-4. Shout out to my dog, Reef, my guy, boxing with Dr. Boxing Talk in the building. What's good with it? Now you see Turk set my boy Berlinga up. Berlinga had no business in there with Hamza. Right. Yeah, he did set up Hamza. I forgot about that, Doc. Shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. But let's say hypothetically Shakur is the A side, right? I know that's hard for some people to do the hypothetical, but just bear with me. Let's do it. Say hypothetically Shakur Stevenson is the A side. I'm willing to bet money, bro, that people will put the responsibility on him for making the fight. That's one. And two, if he were the A side and he were asked, hey, man, you want to fight Gervonta Tank Davis? And he go into this whole tangent about how Tank ain't good and how Tank ain't got no defense when we know that ain't true. How we know how he come out and say Tank ain't got no offense when we know that ain't true. He come out here and he say Tank need to go fight in the D League to prove itself. I'm going somewhere with that level with me. Say if this is Shakur Stevenson being simply asked, hey, bro, Shakur, after this fight, can we still see you in there with the likes of a Gervonta Tank Davis? And he go on to tell y'all, hey, man, that dude ain't good. He don't got defense. His offense ain't that good. He don't block punches, slip punches, none of that. He just jumps straight back. You get what I'm saying? He ain't really like that. He a house boy from North. You get what I'm saying? All these different things. He said, yo, he got to go to the D League. What's that with basketball? Yeah, you got to go there to prove itself. If that's Shakur Stevenson telling you at home, the consumer, not even just the Tank Davis supporter or super fan, a Tank Davis, anybody, just a boxing fan, if that's Shakur Stevenson saying that at home, and you hearing that at home, what are you saying after he says that? After, instead of being asked a yes or no question, he goes into an explanation that sounds like a hell no, I ain't fighting that dude. What are you gonna say? You're gonna come on your live stream the next day and you're gonna say, man, based on what I just heard him say and how he answered the question, you're gonna say, yo, I don't think he want to fight that guy. Now, the why that you create is up to your own, that's up to your own imagination. Like I said, you're not gonna hear me push that Gervonta Davis, the reason he hasn't fought Shakur is because he's scared. I'm not a slanderous guy. I'm not gonna put that on him. The man been fighting all his life. I don't think he's scared. But I try to come up with my own assessment based on how he sound when asked about the fight. And I'll be honest, he comes off as annoyed. Like, why y'all asking me about him? He ain't on my level. Didn't I show y'all? I've been showing y'all all this time. He ain't on my level. That's what I get. And I'm not trying to make no excuses for him, but that's what I get. He start to say, well, look, the last time he asked, well, why y'all asking me about him? Didn't he just fight? And how he looked? I don't know exactly what the audience said, but even his response, well, if it was me, y'all would have said something different because y'all want me to lose. If Shakur Stevenson is being asked about Tank and he's saying instead of yes or no, he's saying, hey, man, didn't he just fight? And how he look? And if it was me, y'all would want me to lose. What would y'all be saying, man? What would y'all be saying? Don't lie to me. Don't lie and say you will still get up on your live stream on your channel in front of your audience and lie and say, yo, yeah, he still want to fight. There's no way in hell you would say that. You know how I know? Because even with Shakur being consistent out of the two, this is no slight to Tank, being consistent, constantly saying, yeah, I want to fight. Tank is a bad MFer. I'm a bad MFer too. He's been building him up and bigging the fight up. Meanwhile, consistently saying he wanted. The other guy is never saying yes, never saying no, but he's pretty much telling you like, look, I ain't thinking about him. I ain't fighting him. He ain't on my level. He didn't look good the last time. He need to go prove himself. If Shakur was saying Tank Davis needed to prove himself to y'all after everything he's done in his career, you would be saying Shakur didn't want to fight. I know what you would say. I know. I asked a rhetorical question when I said, what would you say to Shakur? Because I know what you would say. You would say he didn't want it. And then look, not expecting people to jump down Tank Davis' throat and accuse him of being something. I'm just expecting people to be able to look at things objectively outside of the way they see it. It's not a one all be all. It's not just my way or the highway. You don't never know what it could be. I just speak for the other side. That doesn't make me a hater of Tank. I'm listening. I'm more of a supporter of his than some of these guys. And I know it because I'm listening to him and then I'm basing it off how he moving, how he look, the energy around how he's moving, his, the standoffish nature in the press conferences, looking like he tired of boxing, speaking about retirement, therapy, bettering himself. Then shout out to Cal Cooley. He sent me a post where he told one of the fans said, yo, I just want to see the old Tank. He said, nah, let that guy go. I'm trying to be a better man. When I hear this stuff, and he said he can't be this guy if he's still boxing. And then you look at the move that he made currently, he's not fighting one of the contemporaries. No, he's not fighting the rematch that I got cursed out saying that he was going to definitely take and it wasn't going to be no Jake Paul, right? It's not that. He's fighting a fight that would seem like what? In my opinion, I'm just giving y'all my assessment, a retirement fight. He's looking like he's taking a fight that's going to set him up for life after boxing. And when I hear him speaking about therapy, being softer for his daughters, being a better man, and he can't do it while he's still boxing, I hear what? I hear a guy that could be possibly setting himself up to walk away. That's a logical way of thinking based on what he's saying out of his mouth and what he's doing. Both. That's what it sounds like to me. Do it sound like, am I going to come up here in front of all of y'all and lie and be like, yeah, he's scared of Shakur, man. Yeah, he don't want to lose. He's scared. He's scared. He ducking. That's surface level shit out of here, man. The man been fighting all his life. He ain't scared to fight nobody. That's what I believe until proven otherwise, right? But at the same token, you're not going to keep telling me that it's the B-side's responsibility to make a fight with a guy that's been totally dismissive of him. Totally dismissive. The only time he had something good to say about Shakur was before them fighting was a conversation. The minute they became possible opponents, it's the alpha male and Tank kicked in. And it's like, no, you on that side, you an enemy. And I ain't got nothing good. And I ain't mad at that. I ain't tripping on that. But if Shakur was coming out here and dismissing Tank as a talent, saying he ain't proved nothing, saying he ain't did nothing, he ain't had no offense, no defense, y'all would be saying he didn't want to fight. Y'all would be saying that because you already say it now. And he's been saying the opposite of that. That's how I know. He's saying the opposite of that. He's a good fighter. He's a bad MFer, man. He bad. He cold. He's really special. Like, he done told you everything. He done gave Tank Davis every kind of compliment he could give him. But his fans will tell me the reason the fight didn't happen is because he took a picture with Shakur. I mean, he took a picture with Tank in the locker room and then went in the interview and said he won't fight him. This is the picture that got people butthurt. This is the picture. Shout out to everybody. Do I see you, cuz Teach was good with it. This is the picture. So you telling me Tank is more mad at the fact that he got in an interview and said he won't fight him versus him saying in several interviews back to back how good of a fighter he is, how this is the biggest fight in boxing, how he's a bad mother. You get what I'm saying? I'm a bad mother. We the best too at 135. This the best fight to make. He done built this up. He done breathed life into Tank way more times than he's ever taken any shots. Get that sensitive, soft ass shit out of here. Y'all telling me all he said in the interview was, yeah, he ain't gonna fight me, and that's why he mad? Man, cue the
him right here. Leonard Ellerby against me. Leonard a bitch ass nigga too.
Well, first off, you don't disrespect me like that.
Man, shut up. You ain't with me.
And this isn't about me. You guys got to fight.
Yeah,
on Saturday night.
Shut that soft ass shit up.
And the best man
to
win.
That's some soft ass shit. Shut that soft ass shit up. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got to. Man, shut that soft ass shit up, man. You ain't with me.
That's how I feel, bro. Big Dre, what it do? Big Drop Dre, my brother. What's good? Shout out to my baby girl in the super chat, man. Y'all double tap that screen, super chat, cash app. Let's support the grind. Let's keep building.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to my baby girl, Big Dre. And hey, y'all, and I want to point this out while I do this. I'm going to issue the same challenge that I've been issuing since last week. I dare you. I triple dog dare you, or whatever it is y'all did to dare each other back in the day to talk boxing without slandering these dudes. I'm going to have this conversation without no slander of Tank Davis, no smut on his name, no none of that. Can your favorite guy do that? I don't think so. So again, y'all telling me in this particular picture from here to the interview is what stopped one of the biggest fights in boxing from happening? Imagine if it was Shakur Stevenson on the left side and Tank on the right side, and Shakur saying the biggest fight didn't happen is because he went in the interview and said, I won't fight him. And then you telling me you're going to actually not fight him. Let me make this make sense for y'all. You're going to be mad that he said in the interview you won't fight him. And then you're going to proceed to make him a truth teller and not fight him. You're going to make him out to be an honest man and not fight him. And that's the way you get back at him. In what world? In what world, bro? In what world? In what world? And this is the last time I'm even talking about this. The last time. I will not talk about this no more unless this is an actual situation. But I just got to get to the bottom of this in the narratives that have been a thorn in my side for a while now. Because y'all know how to push these narratives, bro. Y'all know how to push the narratives. Shout out to my dog Dante's Boxing Talk. Canelo and David Part 2. Hey, Tay, you better watch out, boy. They'll get you for that. Hey, Tay, they'll get you for that. They'll get you. Hey, Tay, how does Canelo make his fights? Tay? And name me one fight for Canelo that's not happening. Tell us why the fight didn't happen. I'm a real one, man. I don't have nothing against no fighter. I just analyze the situations and I give a fair assessment. I speak on both sides. The only fight for the A side in Canelo Alvarez, who's also labeled as one of the faces of boxing, the only fight in his career that hasn't manifested is what fight? Because of who? Not David Benavidez, him. Because he's the one that's going to be able to send the offer. He's the one that's going to get the lion's share. If he's not interested in the fight, it's over with. You could sit here and try to say, oh, you can't be on Top Rank. That was a lie. You went to Eddie Hearn. more bullshit. Now it's Turki Alashikh, more bullshit. Signing PVC, more bullshit. Says no Tank Davis opponent ever. Ryan didn't sign over there. You get what I'm saying? I'm just attacking the narratives, not the people. I don't got no personals with none of y'all. But again, come talk to me. Click that damn link. I got a link too, and it's in my community section. Somebody tell me why I was being cursed out, basically being told that the reason they didn't fight on when Shakur was with Top Rank is because he couldn't and he was over there. And then they turned around and they proceeded to negotiate with Lomachenko, who was a top-ranked lifer. I still need the answer to that. I need the answer to that. I need the answer to that. I need to know that. That narrative went out the window. So miss me with it's who he signed with. Because you know what I know when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, who's known as one of a clear A-side in boxing? When he wants a fight, it don't matter where you at. That fight gonna get made. That's all I'm saying. When I say that, I'm not saying Tank is scared. I want to be clear because y'all hear what y'all want. I'm not saying he's scared. I'm not saying he's ducking, afraid. None of that. I'm just saying I don't think, based on what he's saying, he wants to fight him. Simple. How do I get to that conclusion? Because when asked about it, he doesn't give a yes or no. He gives a drawn-out explanation, and he sounds agitated that you even asked him about that guy. Like, why are y'all asking me about somebody that's nowhere near my level? Remember when he was saying it? Show me something crazy or outrageous that he's done. Remember he said that. He said that before. Like, show me something outrageous. And you get what I'm saying? Like, in his mind, I think he like, bro, this dude ain't selling tickets like me. He ain't knocking shit out like me. Why do he want to fight me? Even though that doesn't hold up, but that may be the way he look at him. Like, yo, that's not even a big fight for me. Because when people ask him, you think that's going to be a good fight? Man, hell no. He downplays it. So, I mean, you've seen people downplay fights in the past to make them because you've seen Canelo do it. But the difference is Canelo started to change his tune. He went from not wanting to work with Turki Alashikh, not being willing, to being willing. As long as Gervonta Tank Davis is not willing and Shakur's on the side where, you know, Turki Alashikh might be facilitating the fight, Eddie Hearn, then it's probably not going to happen if he doesn't want to work with those guys. You can't blame the other fighter for continuing his career. He can't base his career based on one fight that he may or may not even get. Furthermore, for you super duper fans, furthermore, what also brought me to the conclusion that he doesn't want to fight him is because of his most recent tweet. You know, one of his most recent tweets. Well, which one was it? Hold on, let me see if I still got it in here. His most recent tweet. Told him to get it out the mud. You get what I'm saying? Told that man to get it out the mud. Told him to get it out the mud. That's what he told him. Get it out the mud. That's plain. That right there. I'm turning my back. I'm turning my back with somebody that sees it on the other side. Can you please? Because I've been told in the last couple of weeks, I've been told from people that y'all know how Gervonta Tank Davis thinks and all types of shit. So can somebody please come in here and elaborate this tweet for me when the man that is clearly the A side, and everybody knows that, including Shakur Stevenson, he hasn't said anything different. Can anybody explain to me what I'm turning my back means? Get it out the mud. That's telling you I am not fighting you. Go fight somebody else. Go get it how you live. Get it out the mud. Go keep doing what you've been doing. Do not try to justify it. Don't justify it. Why is he saying this? If y'all telling me he want to fight him, why is he telling him he turning his back to him? This is the A side. Ain't this pretty much what Canelo Alvarez did to Benavidez without saying it? He just ignored him after a while, right? Just, I ain't fighting that guy. We got the same shit all over again. Tay, you made a great point when you said part 2.0. Yes. And again, with Canelo Alvarez, Do you think that I think the reason he won't fight Benavidez is because he's scared? You got to be shitting me with all them people he fought. With all the people that Canelo Alvarez fought, you got to be shitting me if I'm going to push that he's scared of Benavidez. Hell no. I think it's pride. I think it's ego. And it might not be the best business deal. It might not be the best business move, should I say. Then you start thinking about styles. Look how Canelo fight. Low punch output. Don't throw a whole lot of punches. He slowed down in the latter half of fights. You got Benavidez that look like he be in 15-round shape with an extra reserve. That's not a good business move. You really think he's scared of him? Just the same way Tank ain't scared of no damn Shakur. Stop pushing that. Everybody across YouTube. I know it might look like that. You might feel like, look, I see enough evidence. I could say he's scared. He's not scared, bro. Pride, ego, absolutely, bro. Pride and ego get in the way, and I think it stopped a lot of boxing fights. And I think it's a lot of pride and ego when it comes to them too. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. But I will never push that Tank Davis is a duck. I will never push that he's scary. And none of that other weird shit. I will never call him a 30-year-old prospect. And none of that other disrespectful shit that the non-boxing fans talk. That man is a world-class athlete. There's a reason I want to see him fight Shakur Stevenson. There's a reason all of us wanted to see that fight, whether y'all want to be honest or not, because those are two of the best, and they've shown that shit from 126 all the way to 35. And Tank even showed you it at 140 when he pit stopped the Barrios. Them dudes are dogs. They've shown it. Shakur Stevenson traveled the world fighting the best fighters in the world, bro. Without the money on the line, and you think he don't want to do it with the money and the fame on the line, with the recognition, not so much the fame. He get an opportunity to do something that he's been trying to do his entire life. This is to all of y'all that's telling me Shakur don't want to be great. He don't want to fight. He's always proved that he tried to be the best ever. Not just in the world, not just from his city, not just from North, not just from Jersey. He's flew the world trying to prove that he's the best fighter in the world. And now he get an opportunity to do it under the lights when everything count. And you telling me he don't want it because he's scared of who? Missed me with that shit. Them two grown men are not scared of each other. But they got to be able to sit down. Miss me with all that other surface level weirdo. He got to DM him. The fight ain't happening because he ain't DM'd him. Tank Davis, somebody explain to me, why is he saying he's turning his back? Get it out the mud. Now go ahead and explain to me how Shakur hurt his feelings in an interview saying he won't fight him, which is turning out to be one of the truest statements that Shakur Stevenson ever made. You don't hurt Shakur by not giving him the fight. You end up making yourself look like you don't want it. You make the people that's really looking like you don't want it because you have the power to make it. He got to be ready when that number is called, just like Lamont Roach, just like I ain't gonna add Jake. I'm gonna just add the real fighters, just like any other fighter. Frank Martin had to be ready when his number was called, had to be willing to negotiate and be realistic, and that's what he was, right? That's the only thing Shakur got to do. Miss me with all this other magical shit that he got to do to make a fight. When two fighters want to fight, in my opinion, based off experience of what I've seen, the fight happens. As long as you don't have no outside entity or party pushing them away from the fight. Two guys want to fight, they're going to get in there. This is A-side shit talking, y'all. Yeah, that triple A-side that y'all be flexing all the time. The A-side that's allowing him to take the lion's share of the money all the time. Yes, when he says, I'm turning my back, you got to end the discussion right there. Don't ever blame Shakur Stevenson because of something he said in an interview when you got Jake Paul out here calling Tank illiterate, saying he can't read, being disrespectful. They saying Shakur talked his way out of a fight by saying Tank don't want to fight him. But Jake Paul talked his way into a fight by announcing to the world before Tank announced it that he was going to fight him. That's how you get a Tank fight? Make it make sense. How do you get a Tank fight? What's the procedures? What's the magical protocol? Because I know the shit is different when it's Shakur. He got to sign in the PBC. He can't be on Top Rank. He can't work with Eddie. He can't work with Turki Alashikh. He can't do shit. The man can't even go make a career for himself. He got to sit there and hope that he get a Tank Davis fight? Man, hell no. Man, hell no. Shakur Stevenson doing the best thing he's supposed to be doing for his career. If you want to fight, let's do it. He pressing Tio right now at 140. And y'all telling me this kid don't want to be great? Y'all telling me that young man don't want to be great because you got personal feelings as to why him and Tank ain't happen? He moved on to the next thing. Okay, all right, Tank doing what he doing, cool. He didn't even shit on Tank for the fight that he's taking. He didn't shit on him for it. He said he understood it. Get your money. But what is he doing? He actively pursuing Teofimo Lopez. You got to respect that. Got to respect that. Shout out to J Boxing. You get me? When a man tell you he turning his back, I need his biggest supporters that will curse you out over a Tank Davis conversation. Just enlighten Just Do. Fill me in. Let me know what this means when they say he turning his back. Shakur can't do nothing else but what he's been doing to make that damn fight. There's no magical protocol to making it. Ryan Garcia was prime example of that. Ryan pressed for the fight. His people didn't get in his way. He went against what Oscar wanted. And guess what? Tank negotiated with him and they made a fight. That's how it happened. Don't give me no other bullshit. He didn't sign on to nowhere. Nobody was trying to say, oh, well, he worked with Oscar and he signed the Golden Boy. Because I guarantee you, if Shakur Stevenson would have signed with Golden Boy and Oscar instead of Eddie Hearn and DAZN, y'all would be saying the same shit. The reason he can't get the fight is because he went over there with Oscar. He got assigned to the PBC. And what did Steven Espinoza tell all of y'all out there that's listening? We don't have the fights available for him. We just have the one fight, which is telling you what? Him signing on to the PBC for a Tank fight is not even availability. It's not an option. It's not an option, bro. Y'all, man, y'all gotta stop. Your favorite fighter is going against what y'all saying. Y'all arguing with me that he's about to fight Tio, Loma, Tio, Keyshawn, Shakur, Lamont Roach rematch. He's the only boxer that I know is about to fight 5 people, but ends up fighting none of those people and Jake Paul, all because everybody else was scared of him. Do that even make sense? But when I get up here and I tell y'all, man, Pitbull Cruz openly turned down Shakur. He said it'd be like a dog chasing a cat. Nah, he didn't duck him. How do we know that? And I don't even like using that word. When I tell y'all Lomachenko, the one that y'all crying about, duck Tank Davis, and I hate that word. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he had an opportunity to fight. Who first? Who first? And they fight on the same exact. They was fighting for the same network at the time. Huh? Shakur Stevenson for a title. And guess what he said, y'all? Nah, I'm cool. And guess what he went and did, y'all? He fought George Kambosos. So all of y'all that's out there pushing that Gervonta Davis was ducked by Lomachenko, don't forget to mention that he turned Shakur Stevenson down first. Don't forget to mention that. Don't forget to mention that. That Pitbull Cruz shit that y'all talk about, he ain't want no smoke either. You can't make this shit up. Frank Martin that y'all talk about, he had that contract and sent that shit back asking for more money. He didn't really want it as bad as he said either. Miss me with that, man. The fact of the matter is these guys that y'all bring up and y'all brag about, Shakur beat them all. The only one that's up for debate is Tim and Tank. And I love that debate any day of the week. Them dudes is real dogs, both of them. They put in a lot of work, whether you able to acknowledge it or not. They've traveled different paths. You've seen it. One had the Floyd Mayweather blessing. The other one went to the Olympics in the top-ranked way, and he's done great for himself. He hasn't even come close to losing a fight. That's why the best thing y'all could do is push narratives on his name, because you know you can't push your favorite fighter in there to beat him. That's what you know, and you could take that how you want. Your favorite fighter don't want to fight him. The guys that you think will give him the toughest test don't be wanting to fight this kid. Miss me with that. People told me Loma was a great fight for him. 50-50 fight. That's what they said. And Loma said, I'm good on that. And then proceeded to fight a lesser George Kambosos. By y'all definition, that is a what, y'all? A 4-letter word. Say it with me. Duck. Ain't that what y'all be saying? Duck. Frank Martin wanted the extra little oomph, and he got that with Tank. Not no fucking 8 million that y'all be lying about. Miss me with that, man. And again, another narrative that's out there. Frank Martin did not pull out of the Shakur Stevenson fight because he knew he had a Gervonta Tank Davis fight. That is false. Them two situations are separate. They have nothing to do with the other. Nothing. Nothing at all. It just was an easy fight to make because he on that side, bro. Easy fight for Tank to make because they on that side. And it's no different than what the rest of these guys are doing, making a bunch of in-house fights, and their guys are looking good. And then when it's really time to cross that street and take the challenge, we get resistance every single time. You see that shit every single time. How long Bud and EJ got to get made? And what was the excuse? Oh, he over there on Top Rank. So he got away from Top Rank and made that shit happen. Shakur got away from Top Rank and they still making excuses. I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all don't want fights. Y'all want narratives that y'all can push that hold y'all fighter in this magical light that makes everybody praise and bow down to him. Newsflash, bro. This is boxing, the sport. No one fighter is bigger than the sport. I don't care how many tickets they sell. Nobody. If a fighter is going to tell me 2 or 3 times in a row in interviews that he retiring, I'm inclined to believe that's what he's going to do. You won't question me for choosing to believe the fighter? And then you see him in interviews where he had a press conference that looked like it was in an auditorium. He looked like he was turned off by it, right? He looked like he did not want to be there. He ain't want to be in that. He looked like he did not want to be there. Talking about being better. I'm hearing life after boxing. I want to do this. I want to do X, Y, and Z. I'm hearing good things, but I'm hearing he can't get to that point. He can't get from A to Z while he's still dealing with A. He got to put that down to be able to get to where he want to get to. So what's a good move to make if I'm planning on walking away from the sport because I'm getting tired of the business? They done told me about a 6 or 7 fight deal. Since then, PBC has had trouble consistently putting out cards. You could go punch the air, cry in the car all you want. I love what the PBC do. And any card they put out, I support it. So I'm not against them. But they've been struggling to consistently put cards out the way they have in the past when Showtime was here. Unless you've been living under a rock and you ignoring it, that's the reality. So when you see that going on with the timing of a 6 or 7 fight deal, you start thinking, damn, somebody that got a 6 or 7 fight deal locked in ain't going to talk about retiring right in the middle of it, with one of the last fights being a fight that's not a real fight, as they call it, but not in the 6 or 7 fight deal. Why would that be? It got to be a reason for that. So to me, I come up with my own assessment. I look at a guy that looked like he's saying this shit is fake. He's saying boxing is dead. He sound like he tired of the business, right? The shit that come with it, the criticism. He don't care about the legacy that y'all care about, right? He a legend where he from. He made it where he from. He beat the odds and all that stuff. I said all of that stuff, by the way. Echo all them same sentiments. And then you sound like you're prepping yourself for life after boxing. And what is the better way to do it? Do I go fight Shakur Stevenson? Do I fight the rematch in Lamont Roach or any of these other guys that they mentioned? Or do I go take that lofty, lucrative Jake Paul fight and I go make more money than I've ever made, or more money than I'm going to make possibly fighting any of these other fights? And I know that for a fact. And it's not going to go on my record. The businessman in you is going to do what? If you thinking about life after boxing, you're going to take that fight. And am I going to get on YouTube and criticize you for doing it because you ain't say, I want to fight a more dangerous fight for possibly less money, when I know you're a businessman and you about your coins because you told me that since day one? No, I understand it. Am I going to say he's scared? Nah, y'all can have that. I let the fans. It's not my fight to convince y'all that Tank is scared of anybody. I'm here to lay out what's in front of us, and y'all make your own assessments. I'm not here to sway the crowd. I don't want y'all to be with or against Tank. It's whatever you see fit, go with it. But for me, I support him. So this is the fight that he taking. I support it. But instead of the fans doing it, I'm getting told he about to fight 5 different people at one time. And none of those guys, by the way, is the guys that he's thinking about fighting. So I'm confused. When I hear this shit, I'm lost. I don't know how people think, but I'm just telling y'all how I think. And I base it off of what's coming out of the fighter's mouth. Not all this emotional stuff. You got people justifying the tweet that I just had up. You got people justifying that, bro. There's no justifying that. There's no justifying that. And let me tell you why. He don't owe me shit. Let me be very clear. I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to be one to tell you. Gervonta Davis or no other fighter in boxing owes me anything. But you know who Tank owes? Guess what, y'all? And you never hear people say this. You know why he shouldn't talk like this, in my opinion? He can talk how he wants, but why I wouldn't prefer to hear him talk this way? Because this kills the fight. This kills the fight that we argued about for years. This kills what would be one of the most respected fights, win, lose, or draw, right? It's one of the best fights in boxing, bro. But you know what people don't talk about? They'll sit up and talk about how Tank owed them, and Tank don't know none of these guys from a can of paint, so he don't owe you shit. Yeah, I know you support him and buy his fights, but if you're a true supporter, just continue to do so and understand that this move he making might be for him. But with that being said, you know who Tank owes something to? Guess who he owes something to when it comes to this fight, y'all? It ain't the fans. He owe that shit to himself. You know why? Because I believe he's built himself up a certain way. And despite the credit that people try to take from him, you got to admit that regardless of what name that you don't think is on his resume and what guy he hasn't fought, it's one of the baddest men in boxing. How bad is the question? And we get those questions answered with those other fights. So when we don't get them, people get frustrated. But you know who he owes that fight to? Himself. Because he's put the work in. He's the guy that been fighting since 6 to 7 years old, right? He's the guy that's been knocking shit out, smoking guys, and proving that despite whatever division he in, he gonna be one of the best guys there. That's what Tank Davis has shown us, despite whatever name you feel like is missing from the resume. When he was at 26, he was showing it. 30, you see what he did there. You get what I'm saying? 30, 40, 35, you've seen it. He's always shown you his capabilities, his worth, his talent, right? He set a standard for himself, and he's beat enough guys, despite the names, the biggest names that still elude him, right? Because they elude these other guys as well, just to be fair, but right? But despite all of that, he's still in a position to make fights if he so choose to. But he's at a point where that's just not the case. I don't think he don't sound like he want to be in it for 4, 3, 5 more years. It don't sound like he got another 8 years, I heard somebody say, in the sport of boxing. Not if he planning retirement now, but he definitely owe himself this fight. He don't owe no fans the fight. He owe himself the fight, because he owe it to himself with the work that he's put in to be able to call himself one of the best fighters in the world. And how do you do that? You already get called that, but how do you be able to kind of put a stamp on it? You beat the other guy that people look at as one of the best fighters in the world and in the division. Whether you feel like he's proven it or not, you will prove it by beating him. So yeah, man. Nah, Tank Davis don't owe us, the fans, the fight as much as he owe that shit to himself. Those dudes owe that shit to themselves. They built their careers up. They positioned themselves at 35. I don't care what you say. I'll bet anybody that nobody at 35 beats neither one of them but each other. I'm willing to make a bet. And I don't even like to bet the family. I'll bet you. Ain't nobody beating them two dudes at 35, in my opinion, but each other. Right now, today, that's why that's the fight to make. So they owe it to each other to be able to call each other, or be able to say undoubtedly who's the best fighter in the world. But then again, I'll say this. Tank already said out his mouth. Shout out to the Queen Lisa. How you feeling, Queen? He never told y'all I was gonna be the best fighter in the world. I never told y'all I was gonna be undisputed in the world's greatest fighter. I never told y'all I was gonna get money. You know what I mean? But to a degree, it was built that way, right? Because I think part of getting the people on board is selling them that you're out to do that. But I think Tank out his mouth has been very consistent that he about that money. Yeah, he talks some strapsies and shit, but that's fighter talk. But I think he's been very consistent about, I'm going to get my bread. And more so now than ever. You get what I'm saying? So maybe he don't want to prove that. But I know Shakur, based on what he said, how he moved, his whole makeup as an amateur fighter, going everywhere to prove that he wanted to be one of the best in the world. You don't just shut that off when the money is on the line. I think he's still of that mentality. I think he's still of that mindset. So I think their paths and entries to boxing was different. I think what they want for themselves is different. And that right there, to me, to just do boxing is the biggest reason that fight ain't going to happen. Their whys are different. What they want out of the sport is different. You could cry, you could be mad all you want. I'm going off with Tank Davis head. He don't care about legacy. He's a legend from where he from. He beat the odds and all that. Y'all know this. Y'all know the background. He cheated death, all this different stuff, man. So many people he outlasted that didn't make it to see where he's seen. So I think his fight and his entry into boxing was different. I think his why was always different. I think Shakur Stevenson is a guy that if you are in a weight class with him and people are deeming you the best guy or one of the best guys, I truly believe based on all the way from an amateur and how he moved all the way up until now, he's never turned down a fight. Any fight that hasn't happened hasn't been because he's turned it down. You could fact check or go look it up or go ask who you need to ask to find that out. That's a fact. So it's like you've always heard him saying he want to prove himself. He always spoke about like Mount Rushmores or the Sweet Peas and the Sugar Ray Leonards and Robinson. You get what I'm saying? Those kind of guys. I ain't gonna say Robinson because he went in on him a little bit, but the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world, you've heard him speak like that. You haven't heard Tank speak like that. So again, this is what you're not gonna hear on your favorite YouTube channel, wherever that may be, because I know I'm a one of one. That's something that they're not gonna tell you. One of the biggest reasons to me that this fight is not gonna happen has absolutely shit to do with two men being scared of each other or where they working at or who signed to who, what side they on. That shit is garbage. That shit is bullshit. And it's been proven time and time again. If guys really want to make fights, they get made. I'm going to tell y'all straight up and down. Listen to the focal points of both fighters when they speak in interviews, what they tell you they why was. One guy was money. One guy always was making a good portion of money, but he was chasing something different. He always said he wanted to prove that he was one of the best. He always wanted to, you know, when it's all said and done, I want to be one of the best fighters ever. That's been something that he's been out to prove, and that other guy don't care about that. That hurts some fans at home to hear it, but I'm comfortable saying it because the fighter himself said it. That's why I'm going to say it. No, I don't think it's Tank not wanting to be great. I don't think what he deems great and what you deem great are two different things. I don't think he sees it that way. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, maybe a boxer, maybe a guy from yesteryear, maybe one of these former champions or legends or, you know, one of these Hall of Famers could sit up and tell Tank Davis that maybe he didn't want to be as great as they did or chase it in their way. But an average person cannot walk up to that man and utter anything disrespectful about his career because you would be a fool. At the end of his career, if Jake Paul is the last fight he had, that's a success story, bro. And you know full well it is. Full well it is. So, yeah, maybe the boxers could challenge his resume, but the average person that can't fight, run a mile, throw a punch, go around, spar, hit the bag, do none of that, I don't think we're in a position to tell him that he's a failure or he's not great or he didn't care about being great, because his standard and what our standard is, it might just be different. Maybe he just wanted to prove to everybody where he was from that he's going to be one of the best, one of the most successful, biggest attractions. Maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he wanted to affect change with his money. Maybe that's why he's trying to make this big payday on the way out. And of course, I'm giving leeway here, but I ain't about to sit up here and tell you a grown man is scared of another grown man. The best sense I can make out of it is their whys are different and what they want is different. What they're on mentally and what they want out of the sport is different. Simple and plain. Shakur has always preached it. You can go back to the first interview you could find of him. He's always talked about wanting to be the best, wanting to prove it. Now, whether or not he'll ever be able to do it with who he's able to get in the ring remains to be seen. But that's something that even the powers that be, the fighters that, you know, share that circle, they say the same things. Don't take it from Jusdu, take it from them. They know him better than I do, right? Real recognize real all the time, right? And they would say that dude want to be great. What did Tim Bradley just say about Shakur? Who did he just call one of the next GOATs? Who was Tim Bradley just calling one of the next GOATs? And people went into an uproar. But you would never ask yourself why a Hall of Famer sit up in front of his platform and say the shit he just said. Sonny Boy Boxing, shout out to you. Stress Out Boxing, what's good?
Yo, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the rest. Yo, check this out. I'm leaving right now, and as I'm leaving, I'm thinking about something. Who's next to take over the throne when Crawford retires? Who's next? Hey, I got an idea. You want to hear it? His name is Shakur Stevenson. You heard it here first. Believe me or don't believe me, Shakur Stevenson is going to be the next GOAT up on that throne. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.
And then look, dig this. I'm not saying when Tim Bradley says that just because he's a Hall of Famer to have a successful career that you're supposed to say, well, Tim is exactly right. That's not it. But y'all not real boxing fans, but because when he states his opinion, which is his opinion, just like y'all entitled to say he's not going to be the next GOAT, and y'all do that freely, and y'all don't want nobody challenging y'all, he just giving his opinion. You ever ask yourself, why did he say that? The real boxing fans that take time to understand or even try to understand why he would even say that. Nah, he just saying it because of this. I'll say it because he ain't over there on Top Rank. He ain't being paid to talk crazy about Shakur, and I think he telling the unfiltered truth of what his opinion is. He said, "Believe me or don't believe me." That's what he believes, right? Be the next GOAT. He got a long way to go to prove it, right? And he know that. But the typical boxing fan of a fighter, they'll hear that and they'll get mad, and then they'll spend an hour and a half, 2 hours or more trying to convince their audience that Tim Bradley don't know shit about boxing and Shakur Stevenson is not that good because he ain't proved nothing yet. I seen y'all in the chat earlier. Shout out to my bro Dean. Keep doing your thing. Keep cooking. Keep building. You know I'm always supporting. I'm all about the conversation. But I seen y'all. A lot of y'all can't talk boxing about y'all favorite fighter without shitting on his contemporary. All of y'all that sit here and argue about who resume is better between each other is ridiculous argument. It's a silly argument. You know why? Because Tank ain't never fought no Shakur, and Shakur ain't never fought no Tank. So I don't give a damn about Barrios, Frank Martin, Artem, De Los Santos. You get what I'm saying? Zepeda. I don't give a damn about none. I respect the wins from both sides because I'm not y'all. I don't just discredit everybody somebody fought. That's weird shit. Y'all want everybody to respect your favorite fighter, but you don't even know how to respect boxing as a whole. You don't know how to look at shit on both sides. So I've seen a lot of y'all discrediting the Zepeda fight and De Los Santos and the Padley, and all of y'all were just stating shit that was at y'all own convenience. You get what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson literally has had a career built off fighting the guys that will fight him. Tell me I'm wrong, or better yet, click the link and prove to me I'm wrong. Show me a time where he turned down a fight with any of these guys, any of them. Prove it up, prove me wrong. That's why I give the kid the credit that he deserves, the young man the credit he deserves. It's not no fan shit. It's really paying attention, an honest observation. If that guy gets the opportunity, he's going to go up to 140 pounds and fight Teofimo where he's comfortable at and situated at. 140, where a lot of y'all favorite fighter has ventured out over there and said he ain't going back because he uncomfortable. Let that sink. Shakur Stevenson is now saying, I will go there and fight one of the most established champions at the weight class, and I'm going to beat him. But instead of giving him the credit for even attempting to set the fight up, you shit on the fight. You get what I'm saying? You shit on the fight, and you complain, and you talk about Zepeda and all this shit that don't matter. Zepeda was ranked across the sanctioning bodies, #1. Tank was supposed to be fighting Lamont Roach in a rematch. Who was Shakur supposed to fight? Abdullah Mason is fighting Sam Noakes. You get what I'm saying? Raymond Moratai got some shit going on with him. Again, who was he supposed to fight? Exactly. The guy that he been looking to fight for the longest, and William Zepeda. It should have been nobody complaining about that. But y'all not real boxing fans, so y'all get in there and y'all say stupid shit like, imagine if Tank Davis win 12 rounds with William Zepeda, what they'd say. He went 12 rounds with Roach when y'all was saying he was going to knock him out. So not everybody said it, but a lot of y'all did. He was a 15-1 underdog, Lamont Roach, expected to be knocked out, and he ain't getting knocked out. So why would going 12 rounds with Zepeda be such a crime? But if you're a pure boxer, and you go 12 rounds with a guy throwing 100 punches around, somehow that's a bad thing. That's how y'all look at boxing. It's like nana boo boo. My favorite fighter can and yours can't. My favorite fighter would do this to this guy, and we don't care. All real boxing fans, we don't give a damn about what Tank could do to Zepeda or what Shakur do to Lamont as much as we want to know what Shakur do to Tank or what Tank could do to Core. Let's be honest. We don't give a damn. We want to know more about what y'all would do to each other. You get me? Shout out to everybody in the building. Double tap that screen. Hit that like button. Shout out to the homie Big Drop Dre in that Cash App. Appreciate you, homie.
What? This not funny. How am I supposed to get home? Hold on. Hold on. Here. $2. Take the train.
The Big Drop Dre. Appreciate you, homie. Much love, my guy. We're going to keep building. Jonathan, what's good with it, fam? So I remember saying Tank was stomping out Roach. Yeah, man. I thought he was going to stop him late, too. I did thought he was going to stop him late. You know what I mean? But I just had to make that make sense. And I still want some straightening. I want some understanding. I want some people. You know, I was getting told a lot of different things, man. These narratives ain't holding up so true. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what was the difference between Lomachenko on Top Rank and Shakur on Top Rank. I want to know. Somebody, please help me out. And if you can't, click the link. I'm asking. I just really want some straightening. I want somebody to come up here and tell me, why was it okay for Loma to be negotiated with on Top Rank, but Shakur was like, man, you know, why was that such a no-go? I need to know that. I want to know that. I want to know why y'all out here pushing that the reason fights not happening is not because the fighter don't want it. It's one guy was talking shit. But like I said, back to the Jake Paul shit. Y'all told me, hold on. Y'all told me Shakur was talking crazy. He talked himself out of a Tank fight. Yeah, y'all double tap that screen. Hit that like button. Let's keep building, man. Let's keep building. Support the grind. We're going to keep getting to this, y'all. We ain't done, y'all. Just got to change the batteries in this remote real quick in my joint. My battery has died. All right, here we go. We back. Got out of here. Look, man. They was telling me, they was saying to me, yo, look, Shakur disrespected Tank. He went in the interview, you know, after taking a picture with him and said he wouldn't fight him. They thought they was friends. He thought they was friends. Even though the same ones that's telling me Shakur and Tank was so cool are the same ones that's telling me Shakur and Keyshawn need to stop being fake brothers and fight. So which one is it? Is it only friends in boxing when it's your favorite fighter, or what? Or are y'all totally against friends in boxing? Because again, they told me again, these two were friends. They were buddies. Look at them being all fake, buddy, then getting in the interview and speaking the truth, saying, yeah, I don't think he's gonna fight me. Which still to this day ain't happened. So he looking more and more like like he was on to something. That's why I say, so you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad at the guy for speaking his mind, but you're not gonna be mad. And where y'all at? Nah, seriously, where y'all at? Y'all was typing and talking shit earlier. Where y'all at today? I be wanting to know where y'all at, or do y'all just tune out YouTube boxing around 4 o'clock? Huh? Let me know where y'all was at, because y'all was telling me that saying he won't fight him is so disrespectful, and that talked him out of a fight, and him saying he didn't want no smoke. But Jake Paul's father, Jake Paul's father, Jake Paul is saying he's slow, he can't read, he disrespecting him, and then his father doubles down. And look what his father say. So I'm totally confused as to how you get a Tank fight, because Shakur saying he won't fight me, that blows the opportunity for you. He don't want the smoke or whatever, or he ducking me with the call out with the shirt off. Y'all still mad about that, I see. But you telling me the way you get it is doing what Jake Paul did, right? Announcing the fight before Tank did, right? Making people think you was clout chasing his name, right? Being in his locker room, right? Shakur was in his locker room. What is the difference between Shakur and Jake? Shakur was in the locker room way before Jake ever did it. All Jake did was steal a page out of Shakur's book by going in the locker room, and he beat him to it. That's all. Shakur was in the locker room. What happened? That ain't changed shit. Jake went and said you're dumb, slow, all this, and then his father, he doubled down. Y'all check him out.
Oh my God. Did you guys watch that press conference with Jake and Tank? Tank and his team must all be completely brain dead. And if he were the face of boxing, it would fucking end. Everybody in the boxing world should be thanking Jake. He's putting asses in seats. He's blowing up women's boxing like it's never been done before. And Tank trying to have a conversation with him, it's worse than talking to a third grader. And then his team didn't even know what the fuck they talking about. They're like, oh, well, how about we want to do 8 or 10 ounce gloves and blah, blah. And Jake's like, that was your guys' team. And his manager, whoever the fuck was like, well, I didn't know about it. Well, what the fuck do you guys do? You know, like, just the boxing community should be thanking the fact that there's somebody with some brains representing the future of boxing. Thank you, Jake. Tank, you're a fucking GP's out.
Oh shit, y'all. That's how you get a Tank fight. Okay. So don't go in the locker room like Shakur did, because Jake did that shit too. Difference is Jake ain't had no respect since that shit been signed. He been talking crazy. He got his dad talking crazy. He just called Calvin an effing tard. Look how disrespectful he is. So that's how you get a Tank fight. Oh, okay. Hey, Shakur, you hear that? Somebody tag Shakur. Somebody get Shakur on the line. Let me give him the secret recipe. I know he tired of the narratives and all the weird shit too. Let me tell him, oh, Shakur, I forgot what you forgot to mention is call him out his name. Disrespect him. What's next? What Jake gonna do next? Huh? Talk about his mom or something? What are you gonna do next, bro? They just dissed his whole team, coaches, everything. Miss me with that, bro. Y'all soft. And I'm talking to y'all that was saying that and typing all that weird shit. I seen all of y'all. A lot of y'all be through here. A lot of y'all, I want to see where y'all at. The ones that was telling me Shakur hurt Tank feelings essentially by saying he won't fight him. And he not, mind you, he didn't fight him yet. So who are you to be mad at, yourself or him? The dude talking shit. I know this is business and it's boxing, but this is the fight business where you could do something about somebody talking shit. In real life, somebody talking shit, you want to shut their mouth, not try to starve them out, not try to turn your back and say, oh, I'm turning my back. And then none of the fans are real enough to say, hey man, that ice is the cake. That ice is the cake. It ain't no special way to get no fight. Y'all telling me it's okay to be called effing retards because it's $50 million attached to it? Make it make sense. So do you stand on principle? Do you got morals or no? Or only when it's certain money attached to it? Let me find out. What we talking about? I really be wanting to know what y'all think of. What do y'all be thinking about? Y'all telling me Shakur ruined the fight by saying he won't fight him. Jake got the fight by saying he is gonna fight him and calling him dumb, and his dad doubling down, calling him effing, you know, I hate to say that word, but pardon me, y'all, but he shouldn't even feel comfortable saying that. Get that shit out of here. Talking about he putting asses in seats, and man, Tank been putting asses in seats, boy. What you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't know how to talk boxing without slander, but I do. Tank Davis ain't get called a duck one time. He ain't get called scary. You get what I'm saying? Oh, he don't want this. I ain't call him out his name not one time. I ain't say he nothing. I just support him as the fighter that he showed me he is. Simple and plain, bro. Y'all some weirdos out here justifying disrespect. So let me get this straight. Based on what I was told, disrespect comes with a price tag. Disrespect comes with a price tag. So if you put a certain amount of M's next to that disrespect, you could call me what you want, right? But Shakur, you better not dare go into the media and tell the truth. You better not dare go into the media and say what's looking more and more like the truth now. Huh? I'm just saying, I'm going off of what the fighter is saying, bro. Shakur Stevenson, you better not dare go into the media and tell what the truth is really looking like, that I'm not going to fight you. Now, why is up to y'all, like I've been saying since I started this live. But I be damned, bro. I be damned, bro. Them narratives ain't holding up, bro. Them narratives looking bad. I thought he was supposed to DM him. I thought he hurt his feelings in the interview. I thought they was frenemies. Once upon a time, friends. All that shit is dying. By this tweet, he killed everything that y'all been pushing for the last X amount of months, bro. All bullshit. Nothing but bullshit. Nothing but bullshit. Nah, you taking it that way because you a PBC guy. You're a PBC guy. I'm telling you the real. You don't want to hear it. Y'all don't be wanting to hear it. And I'm just speaking my truth. I ain't beefing with the PBC. I'm beefing with you, the weird ass super Tank fans that argue these bullshit narratives. So like I said, you shout out to Carl Brown. You hear my link in the joint. You could come up here. Maybe you could enlighten me, bro. Help me understand that why they pushed when he was on Top Rank, he couldn't fight him because he was with them top ranked people, but they negotiated with Lomachenko. Then they waited till he went over there, signed with Eddie Hearn, and said he went to Eddie Hearn to get away from. I need to know what's up with these narratives and why they not holding up. You get what I'm saying? I need to know this. You get what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is, when a guy says he's turning his back, get it out the mud, that shoots all of that shit down that y'all talking about. You don't need to DM him. It ain't nothing you said in the interview. It's strictly up to Tank. Like his team been telling y'all from day one, but ain't none of y'all been listening. You don't send Tank Davis shit. Be ready when that number is called. That's what they said, bro. That's what they said. That's what they said. You get me? I want to know what's up with them. Them joints was crazy. They said, nah, bro. The way you get a Tank fight is you keep your mouth closed and you can't even say nothing. You can't say nothing. You better not dare. Don't go in the media and say nothing about him. You'll hurt his feelings. That's what his fans is telling me. They ain't saying it that way, but that's basically what they telling me. You can't say nothing about him. But look, check this out. Shakur can't go in an interview and speak his truth. They ask him, "Will you think he gonna fight you?" He say no. They asked Tank about Shakur. Tank say Shakur don't got no offense. His defense ain't really defense. He not good. He need to go to the D League and prove himself. Mind you, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shakur still like, even Shakur hears that stuff, and Shakur still like, guess what? He's still a hell of a fighter. He's still one of the best at 135, and so am I. We need to make the fight happen. But y'all telling me your favorite fighter is hurt by Shakur telling what he felt like was his truth. Tank was speaking his truth, right? When he said he can't fight. He don't got no offense, no defense. He don't block punches, slip punches. We all know that was a lie. We seen as a pay to fight, but he said it. Nobody questioned that shit. They ate that shit up. Oh, you heard Tank cooking Shakur. You heard him? He cooking him. How you cooking a guy that you ain't gonna fight? You got the only way you could cook him is you gotta beat him. Gotta beat him. So again, man, shout out to Tank Davis, man, for putting his tweet up. Shout out to Tank for putting his tweet up. Because it's a lot of truth in his tweet. It's a lot of truth in his tweet. And this is why people ain't going to talk about this shit, because it makes them uncomfortable. Notice, people will type paragraphs without me saying one negative thing about Gervonta Davis. I'm only using his words. Pay attention, chat. Pay attention, y'all. I only use his words. I use the shit he say to come up with my assessment. They say, hey, Just, why you think he won't fight him? Well, he said right here in his most recent tweet, to one of his most recent tweets, he turning his back and told him to get it out the mud. That's a dead giveaway that, look, hey, man, I got the power to make this fight. He said, how would you feel if I said I would give you a payday? That's acknowledging I'm the A side in this. If I want to fight you, if I want to tell my people right now, I want you, it could be you. Not no DM, not no Eddie Hearn, not no Turki Alashikh garbage. I don't want to hear none of that, none of them narratives. None of them. They're all BS narratives for stopping one of the best fights in the world being made. Straight like that. These dudes are dogs. And Tank Davis and Shakur don't owe us nothing, but they owe it to themselves, I think, to be able to prove that they undoubtedly one of the best fighters, not only in the world, but in their respective weight classes. They don't owe me nothing. They don't owe me nothing. You get what I'm saying? They don't owe me nothing, bro. They don't owe me nothing. Every single time that I had an opportunity to watch Tank Davis fight, I enjoyed it, I supported it, and I cheered him on. And then I came back whenever I had a channel when he fought, and I talked about it. You have never heard me sit up here and do the shit that most of y'all uncreative ass people do when it comes to talking anybody outside of Gervonta Davis or the PBC. Y'all don't know how to talk boxing for real. Slander. I ain't slandering Tank. I just gave everybody a timeline of why I think he don't want this fight. Because he's saying it. If he's getting asked a yes or no question and he's going into a negative ass explanation and downplaying the guy, does that sound like he going to take that fight next? Huh? Does that sound like the fight he going to take next? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's telling you over and over again, I don't care about no legacy. I don't care about these guys. Stop asking me about these guys. He said that too. He told y'all stop asking them. So maybe that's why he flipping too. Because he told y'all I'm fighting somebody else. Stop asking me about the next dude. I could respect that. Even though I know it's part of boxing, I could respect it though. You're not going to get me to get up here and do what y'all do when it comes to every fighter that might be a challenger to your favorite fighter. I see what y'all do to the T.O.s, to the Devin Haney's, to the Shakurs. I see what y'all do. I see what y'all do. Shout out to my brother, man. Mike Kirkland put some color in the chat. Said, thanks for saying all sides, not just your favorite boxer side. And appreciate you saying that and putting it in color so they could see it. This shit is about boxing. This ain't about no favorite fighters. This is about one of the best fights in the world not happening, and y'all fans contributing to this shit by backing up bullshit narratives. The only A-side, Gervonta Davis, and this is to y'all fans, y'all have done this. He is the only A-side in boxing that is not responsible for making his fights. The only one. And I got a question for y'all. I just got a question. I'm passionate, yo, so I ain't mad. This is all respectful. Come up here, click the link if you want. I got a question for y'all. If Jake Paul, based on what Tank said, does WWE type scripted fights, they're like fake fights, they WWE style or something like that, right? And this is off y'all, this is y'all language. This is how y'all talk. Because Shakur was bending the knee to Turkey. He was kissing the ring. All of y'all kept typing that shit in the chat. Is Gervonta Davis kissing the ring? Is he bending the knee to a YouTuber, a fake fighter, as he called him once out his own mouth? He's the B-side to a YouTuber, but you can't work with Turki Alashikh. So I need to understand this. It's perfectly fine to bend the knee to a YouTuber that's not a real fighter, right? That does WWE style fights. But it's completely against the rules to even entertain anything Turki Alashikh, right? Make it make sense, bro. You're the B-side. How I know Calvin Ford said y'all the B-side in this situation. He admitted to it. It's not a big deal because I don't care about A-side, B-side, but that's just to y'all people that's saying he can't work with him. He's working with Jake, though. A guy they says a fake fighter. I'm not dissing Tank. I'm just telling you what he said. So if you can be a B-side to a guy that's not a real fighter, you can't entertain the party involved that would be responsible for maybe representing Shakur. Giving him is just a question. So can Tank stand on this square and say, you know, I'm loyal to the soil and that's PBC, nothing more, nothing less? Absolutely he could. Would he be wrong for doing it? No. Would he be a scary guy, a duck, or none of that stuff for doing it? No. No, he would just be a loyal guy to the same people that got him there. But when I ask that question, I'm just asking y'all to consider the other side. I look at it on both ways because all this fake signing to the PBC not going to get that fight. That's not going to happen because that's not an option. You don't see the PBC trying to sign Shakur. So that's out. Do you hear what he said? I'm turning my back, get it out the mud, ussy. That means if I want to fight you, the fight can happen, bro. He said, if I would give you a payday. That sounds like a guy that clearly knows he's in control of making his fights right now. Leonard Ellerby said it over and over again. You don't send Tank anything. Tank don't wait on nobody. You give him. He said all that, even though that some of that stuff fall flat with the Jake Paul shit. But it is what it is. I'm not crucifying nobody for doing good business. A side, B side, Z side, 40 million. I don't care what side you is, as long as you're checked right and you getting a fair fight. I would have did exactly what Tank is doing. I want to be very clear. So no, I don't have no negative criticism, but I just got a question for the people that push that BS, right? That push that BS. If you say, you know, he can't work with Turkey, he ain't bending the knee. Did he just do that with a YouTuber, a guy that's not considered a real fighter? That's to y'all super fans. That's not a diss on Tank. It's not no slight on Tank. Tank can stand tall. He can say, yo, I'm never fighting over there. I don't want nothing to do with Turkey. Shout out to Jay Howard. He said if Al Heyman told him to work with Turkey, he would do it. And I respect that because he's just staying loyal to his people. But all I'm saying is it being disloyal to him if the PBC fighters are already fighting on Turki Alashikh cards, because they are. So that would tell me what? That obviously Turki Alashikh got some type of dealings with somebody over there at the PBC where it's allowing their fighters to openly fight on his cards with no friction, no issues whatsoever. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm just considering the other side. Tank is not wrong for standing on the square. He's not wrong for not wanting to do business. But y'all dead wrong for trying to make it seem like because a guy is, you know, being represented by a certain individual or people, that means he's trying to get away from a fight. When the same can be said on the other side, if I look at it and say the fighter on the other side is unwilling to even come to the table, period. This is what it is, man. So this is a fantasy fight. It's unfortunate. Do I think we get it? No. I think it's over with. Maybe it was an opportunity for it at once upon a time, but I don't see it now. I think Tank has I think he's gotten what he wanted out of boxing, at least for me. This is what I think. I think he might have got what he wanted out of boxing. He told you he wanted to make money. He said he was never selling y'all he was going to be the best fighter ever, and that's true. He did exactly what he said. He gave us a lot of entertaining fights. Like I said before, he checked off a lot of boxes. He sold tickets. He was a big attraction. He always stood on business. He never lost a fight. He always entertained, and I've never seen a boring Tank fight. If Tank never fought another professional fight with his contemporaries, I would be cool. I wouldn't diss him. I wouldn't look at him as less of a man or fighter, because I understand it's things for him that he wanted for himself in the sport of boxing that even his biggest fans didn't even consider. They too hung up on what they want to see versus what that fighter want. And I just wanted to make sure we having the right conversation. So y'all might have come in here at the tail end of what I'm saying, but trust and believe, Tank got his just due. He didn't get dissed. I use his words. The things he said in the interviews, when asked about Shakur, he consistently gave explanations, not answers, right? He gave an explanation, said the dude is a D-League fighter, basically. Nah, to me, that sounds like he don't even think Shakur's on his level for y'all to be asking him. Is that true? We probably never get to find out. Do we think so? Not so much. We think those dudes definitely deserve to fight each other. But if Tank feels as though, look, he ain't on my level, then what could Shakur do? Sign over anywhere. When he say, did Tank ever say to him, you got to sign to the PBC for our fight to get made? You get what I'm saying? Never. He never once said that. That'd be fans pushing that shit. So at the end of the day, I said this before, and I want to say it again so everybody in here can hear me. Shout out to my boxing mom, Barbara D. I see you. Peace and blessings to the queen. I want everybody in here to hear this. The biggest reason that Jusdueboxing believes that Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis is not going to happen is because their entries into the sport of boxing and their whys, what they've been brought and bred up thinking and believing. Meaning, Shakur had, Jay Prince and, other guys, the Wars, the Bud Crawfords in his corner. Tank had Floyd teaching him how to get that money, and that's exactly what he did. Could you say he wasn't successful at doing exactly what he was taught to do? Get money and showing you how to get money and stay at the top? Ain't that what Tank did his entire career? How could you knock him for that? Shakur Stevenson, like I said, was an Olympian, traveling the world trying to prove that he was the best fighter in the world, not just from New Jersey, in the world. So you damn right, when he got to the sport of boxing as a professional, that's exactly what he wanted to continue to prove. You can hear it in all his interviews. You can hear it still to this day, talking about being put on Mount Rushmore. Have you ever heard Tank Davis speak about being put on anybody's Mount Rushmore or even caring about being put on anybody's Mount Rushmore? Do you know why not? Because his why into the sport was different. He said, I wanted money, and that's what he got. Shakur said, I want to be great. He's still out to try to prove that. And how do I know that's what he wants? Because if he gets the opportunity to do it against Teofimo Lopez, he's going to prove exactly what he's been saying since he's been at 126 pounds, since he's been a fucking professional. He's been trying to prove it. He just been needing a dance partner. And why do you think he big T.O. up? He respect him the same way he's respected Tank. He's never downplayed the fight or Tank Davis as a talent, despite what Tank Davis say about him. He a real one, real recognized real. Yeah, he talk crazy, but that he'd be fake if he tell you he don't think Tank is one of the best fighters in boxing. He said it time and time again, but he's still showing you, look, I want to be great. And if I can get Teofimo in there, that helps with that. That's what he know. And I'll be doing it at 140, where respectively we seen Tank knock out Mario Barrios at, but said he ain't going back there. Think about something. Shakur is willing to go there where T.O.'s solidified, comfortable, a champion. Fight him, challenge him, and go back to 35. You got to respect it. Their whys are different. Their whys are different. If that Shakur and T.O. fight don't happen, I seriously doubt it'll be Shakur's fault. B3 was good. Nick Ballin was good, homie. I doubt it'd be his fault. So you get what I'm saying? You got one guy that's like, hey, man, tell me Floyd wasn't teaching Floyd Tank to get that money. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. And what did he do? He got that damn money, didn't he? They got that money, didn't they? And he's still getting that money, ain't he? Still to this day. He only being the businessman that he was bred to be. You can knock it at home because you can't respect it because you want him to take less money, more risk for the less money. And he said, hey, man, there's still a risk, but it's a lot of money attached to it, and it don't count on my resume, and I could retire with this shit. Floyd taught him the game well. If he mentally tired of this shit, then he should retire with a lot of money. Yeah, he should. He deserves it. 20-something years in the game, yeah, he should retire with a lot of money. But like I said, man, their whys is different. Shakur is always out to prove that he one of the best. He been traveling, sparring all over the world, he willing to get in there with just about anybody to prove himself. You get what I'm saying? And as long as he get the opportunity, you gonna see it. If Teofimo don't get in his own way and don't shoot himself in the foot, watch as a real boxing fan, not just supporter of Shakur, a real boxing fan, you get to see a youngin go out there and show you how great he is. Watch you get a chance to see that shit. That's what we should be bigging up. I respect Tank for doing it his way. I'm smart enough to know that a lot of the way he think, to me, as far as money and moves in boxing, is because of how he was coached and groomed by Floyd Money Mayweather, not pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather. Two totally different mentalities, right? He taught him the game. He learned the game. He mastered the game. And that Jake Paul might be a payout for him. I'm going to respect the way he did it. And I'm going to look at Core and I'm going to say, hey, Core looked at it. Hey, I ain't the biggest ticket seller, right? But I sell tickets, right? But I ain't the super A side in every equation. So I got to fight tooth and nail. I got to fight to prove how good I am. I'm not knocking everybody out, right? My shit is like, what he say? He compared his style to like jazz. Like everybody don't appreciate this shit, right? But you do with time. You do with time. That's one of the guys that the more opportunities he get to prove what he is, he's going to do it. Tank already proved to y'all what he set out to prove. Y'all just wanted him to prove something different to you. Yeah, I'm the best fighter in the world. They don't be caring about that. If you think if the average boxer got a choice to be looked at as the best fighter in the world and broke, or just a prize fighter and rich as hell, which one you think they're going to choose? In today's boxing, they're going to choose the Tank Davis route, bro. They're going to choose that route, bro, because that legacy shit that we talk about, those guys that got all that legacy and those belts and those fights, fought all those fights and not got their money's worth, they ain't in good shape right now. A lot of these guys, mentally, physically, not in good shape. Tank Davis found a way to get the money without taking the punishment. I'm not knocking that shit. I seen a lot of messed up fighters in their day. I seen a lot of messed up fighters, bro. Seen a lot of them. If he gonna retire at the top of his game doing it his way, as a supporter of his, I'm gonna rock with it. Simple and plain. Shakur want to keep trying to prove to me that he one of the best fighters in the world, and getting a guy like a Teofimo Lopez in the ring with him does exactly that for him. I'm rocking with that. Why are we mad? So Tank Davis, go get your money, bro. You gave this sport 20 plus. Go get all of your coins. Anybody saying anything otherwise is full of shit. That they wouldn't do it, especially fans. They definitely going to get that money. 40, 50 million, 100 million. I don't care. That's your money. Go get it. You deserve it. Shakur Stevenson, you've traveled the world as an amateur trying to prove that you was the absolute best. You turned pro with that same type of mentality. If you want to continue to chase the TOs of the world and guys like Lamont Roaches and top world-class guys, keep doing it because that's the shit I'm supporting. I don't get to complain. See, I understand as a fight fan, I don't get to choose y'all journey. I don't get to choose your why. I just could understand what your why is and see if I level with it or not. See if I can support it. So when I looked at Tank, like I said, I seen a guy that was getting that money, knocking shit out. I seen him be taught by one of the richest guys in the sport of boxing, and that's what he aimed to be. One of the most paid in the sport of boxing. Is he or is he not one of the highest paid and most talked about, biggest attractions in the sport of boxing? Y'all ever ask yourself how many of the boxes that Tank checked off for himself personally? Probably all of them. And after this Jake Paul one, he probably checked that last bag, make a super big bag, and then slide. He probably checked every box he wanted to check for himself. As a fight fan, I'm cool with that. Cool with it. And now I just want to see if he retires, I'm cool with that. Shakur get T.O., I'm great with that. T.O. get to fight Shakur, I'm great with that. I want to see, you know, I want to see how many ways y'all can be great in the sport. Tank showed you I can make all this money and make everybody watch me, show up, tune into my fights, and I'm going to do this shit my way. And guess what, y'all? I'm going to retire with my faculties in check. And I'm going to go get therapy while I'm at it. And I'm going to take some of this money that I sacrificed my life spending and enjoying life, bro. That's Mike what he want to do. Because I know if you've really been watching Tank, it's no way you think he want to fight to his mid-30s or early 40s, late 30s. They don't want to do that. That dude think about life after boxing, being better for his daughter, his kids. You get what I'm saying? Shit like that. Being a better man, that's his path. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted his legacy to read. Yeah, I beat the streets of Baltimore. I did this shit my way. I put on for the Upton Gym. So many, I motivated the city. You get me? I put on at the highest level, sold out, beat my own numbers. What you mean I ain't do shit for boxing? That's why he probably leaving. What do you mean all I am is a 30-year-old prospect because I ain't fight Shakur or T.O. or Devin? What do you mean I ain't do shit for boxing? I touch more people's lives with my career than you ever gonna realize. Maybe that's what he cool with. And I'm cool with it too. I ain't here to complain about his career because it's too much boxing to shit on him. He gave me good fights. He was entertaining. He knocked shit out, sold tickets. He checked the boxes, bro. Say what you want. Did he give you exact fights you wanted when you wanted them? But if you really look at boxing, who's doing that? Maybe one or two guys, maybe. And that's because they circumstances and situations align. But ain't nobody really doing that. Boxing don't work off what you want alone. You get what I'm saying? So, again, he's doing it his way. Shakur doing it his. The biggest reason they fight won't happen is because they think totally different. How did I come up with that conclusion? Because of how they speak about each other and who still wants to fight as opposed to who don't. What Tank say he don't care about legacy and them names and fighting these guys. He don't ask for those names. He tell y'all all of this stuff. So why y'all asking me about names I don't ask about? It's part of the game, but I get it. You get what I'm saying? It's part of the game. But at the end of the day, they think differently. They're on two separate sides of the spectrum, bro, and it just won't happen because of that. Shout out to my brother, Mike Kirkland, man. I had to keep y'all double tap the screen. Shout out to Mike Kirkland. Tank say he gonna fight them all, fight all of them. Yeah, he did say it, but I've learned not to hold fighters to things that they speak in interviews when they're speaking as individuals, right? And let me tell you why. I see if this makes sense to you. If you ask the average fighter, shout out to Tobias, appreciate the love. You ask the average fighter, bro, will you fight X, Y, and Z in an interview? What are they gonna say? 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, yeah, hell yeah. They're gonna speak like a fighter. It's you know, the alpha male in them kick in, the bravado, the fighter in them, like the man in them, like, yeah, bro, like I'll fight them all. But then when you get to sitting down and you get to crunching numbers or you get to making these decisions, you're probably not making these decisions by yourself. Like, think about it. Al Heyman, people always bring up Al Heyman. You don't think he could be advising to do X, Y, or Z? Think about it. If you talking about retirement and you speaking about it in private, publicly, like it's being a regular occurrence, right? Do you think your advisor would advise you to fight a guy like Shakur or even a rematch if you're talking about bettering yourself, therapy, being softer? You can't do this while you boxing. You being frustrated with the business. They had one of your press conferences. It looked like in an auditorium. A lot of stuff just looked like it was changing, and it looked like his mind and his energy toward the sport was changing right with it. So if you Al Heyman, you never know, people tripping. He could have advised them to take this fight. Hey, man, go make your money. Are you ready to walk away from the sport? Because if you're advising somebody, you're supposed to put them in the best positions possible. Fighting Shakur Stevenson for an unknown amount of money as opposed to what Jake is paying might not be the best advice, right? Like, for us fans, the best thing would be to say, hey, fight Shakur, fight Tia, fight this one, right? I get it. But if you advising and your guy talking about walking away, you want him to walk away on top. Get what I'm saying? So you'll tell him to take something that's less risky but more lucrative. It's smart business. You doing your job. But the fight fans ain't going to be able to make peace with it because they think your job is to tell him to go chase this legacy that we want to argue about every single day. That's not it. That's not the conversation. They supposed to put these guys in the most lucrative fights possible. And every now and then, the opponent is going to line up with it. And we get some of what we want. But that's not Al Heyman's job to tell him to take the most dangerous fights, even if you got a fight on the table that makes way more money possibly than any of these other tougher fights that will actually count on your record. And you talking about leaving and therapy being better. Bro, if you don't go get that money, I'll probably like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Or whoever that's advising. They probably, hey, man, go get that money. And what we going to say? What we going to complain? Nah, bro, we just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? People should be bigging up the prospect of, you know, Teal and Shakur fighting at 140. It's a great fight for boxing. You know what I'm saying? Jake and Tank going to do what it do. They're set there to entertain. Even there, in that instance, he doing what he's supposed to do. Entertain. People forget that this is the business. He's supposed to get paid. The business is supposed to be on his side of it, right? Entertainment, that's for us. He's supposed to entertain. That's what he do. He's an entertainer that made a lot of money doing it. Can't knock it, yo. It's hard to knock it. It's hard to knock it. Shout out to Tobias, man. Appreciate you, fam. Y'all double tap.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
T Hill, what it do? It's like Mayweather and Terence all over again. Yeah, shout out to Jay, man. Jay. Hell no. What's good? What y'all talking about in the chat, man? Let me see what y'all talking about. You think he has to fight Lamont Roach again? Nah, Jay, he don't, because the rematch clause was on his side, right? Like Lamont Roach had to win to really make the case. And I think it was up to Tank. Now the only maybe possibly leg that Lamont may have to stand on as far as that arbitration go, if it was signed contracts, maybe he might have a leg to stand on there. But that's the thing. We get caught up into telling fighters, Dank was good with a homie, telling fighters what they have to do with their careers. I've never been one of those fans. So nah, he don't got to fight Lamont Roach. Would it look like the great thing to do for the people that argue and had the most dialogue and conversation about him? It'll be the ideal thing to do. Yes, give us the Lamont Roach fight again. But nah, Lamont Roach didn't win, even though people felt like he did. He should have got credit for the knee and all that stuff. He didn't win. So that kind of like where his side fall flat, where Tank was able to do this. You know what I mean? Bilateral rematch clause saying Tank can rematch if he lost, right? And he didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't lose. That's the part where it hurts Lamont. So his issue is it was a signed contract or whatever have you. And then he's saying he pulled out after the fact. So I'm not no damn lawyer. I can't get into that, but that's what Lamont said. But do I feel like he have to fight? No, I'm not one of them fight fans. Boxing is not about these men doing, like, think about it. We're strangers. Yeah, we pay their bills to a degree because you support them, right? But we're still strangers to these people, right? We can't expect them to do exactly what we feel they should do at home without no knowledge of the game. We don't even be knowing what all the options are, what those conversations are like behind the scenes. But we'll just be like, fight Shakur, fight Tia, fight Devin. Come back down and fight Lamont after you fight Jake. Like, you know, we never take time to say, what is it that this fighter want to do? How is he on the shout out to Behind the Hands TV too? So, nah, he don't got to fight that dude. It'd be unfortunate, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But that we hold to our stand, I don't think Mom did enough to beat Tank. I feel you. I just feel like the knee, the turning the back, the getting help in the corner, that's a trifecta. That's like 3 strikes. Like, and they missed all of them. He even started counting and stopped. That's not a knock on Tank. That's a knock on the referee. Tank did what he was supposed to do. He did what the situation called for to get through it. That's what he did. You could overly criticize it. You know, I was surprised to see him take a knee and say grease. Do I think grease was in his eye? It's tough, bro. I just think he had a moment. I think he had a mental lapse. I think he had a mental lapse. And why I say that, because regardless of what was in your eye, you can't take a knee and then turn your back and then get help. That's like 3 different things. A knee that he counted and they stopped. Turn your back. I seen fights get stopped for that. And then you got help for the corner. That's a disqualification. Do I want to see that? No. But you got to understand Lamont Roach side. his side is like, bro, all of this happened and y'all treating me like I don't have a case that I possibly want to fight. And then let people like Andre Ward tell it. They count that knee. They feel like that's the difference between a win or the draw, right? So I'll let people argue about that. I ain't stuck on it. Lamont did have a really good moment with somebody that we set at a high standard. And I don't know if Pitbull necessarily is the name to prove if he's still fighting at that standard. It's just unfortunate that he couldn't get the rematch to prove or see if he could raise his level again like that to Tank. We know what Tank can do. We know what we expect from him, but nobody expected that from Lamont. So the rematch would have been a lot of pressure. The controversy sells. It would have been really good, but he don't owe us nothing, bro. Like he really, Tank don't owe us shit, bro. None of these fighters do. And I know we would like to think it, and people will condition you to believe that they owe you stuff, but they don't. The fighters owe you nothing. They go in there and fight, and we have an option every time they fight to support it or not. You know what I'm saying? They don't owe us nothing. They ain't going nowhere 11 times in the corner. And see, they had the tape unraveling, but I still don't think Lamont did enough to beat Tank. I feel you. Shout out to my brother Mike Kirkland. I say I don't like the business part of boxing. Yeah, it gets frustrating, bro. But it's the business part that keeps people arguing about the fighters. It's the business part that we don't be having a grasp on that keeps us arguing about who's ducking and who's not. Like, think about it. I'm willing to bet you money that you won't hear nowhere across YouTube that the reason they ain't fighting is because they whys are different. People still stuck on size of the streets, Turki Alashikh, Eddie Hearn. It was top ranked before. We know that wasn't true because he negotiated with Long. It's like all of these different things. And then you see Tank say, I'm turning my back. That's a very bold, strong statement. That's like, bro, I'm turning my back on this whole fight in this situation. I'm not fighting you. But you'll still have people say, oh, nah, he messed the fight up. Y'all justifying it. Y'all justifying a guy saying he don't want to fight. A guy that's a bad man at that. Y'all justifying it. Oh, his feelings was hurt. He should have never said that you wouldn't fight him. So you telling me he was supposed to stay quiet and eventually he would have got the fight with him? I don't see it. I don't see it. It's no magical way. And like I said, shout out to my brother Dean. Like I said on his platform, bro. In my opinion, based on what I've seen and experienced, when two fighters want to fight, as long as they don't have no outside entities pulling them in a different direction and influencing them to do otherwise, you get the fight. And, with two of the dominant A-sides in boxing would be Canelo, one of the faces, right? Tank, one of the faces. See how Canelo make his fights? You see nobody turns down Canelo, right? Because it's life-changing money. What does they say about all the Tank fights and his paydays? It's life-changing money. It's going to be the most money you ever made. So you telling me when it comes to Canelo, not one person turns down a Canelo Alvarez fight. But when you get to Gervonta Davis, everybody's scared and they turning it down. They all scared to make money. See how silly it sounds? Money talks, bullshit walks. Jordan, what's good, homie? You see what I'm saying? Money talks, bullshit walks. You don't make a fight by DM and Tank. I don't think you got to sign to a special promotional company because Ryan Garcia didn't do it and none of these other dudes did it. At the end of the day, you got to be ready and available when your number is called. The same way Lamont, Roach, Hector Garcia, Frank Martin, any of these other guys. Stop making weak arguments for a fighter that's one of the best fighters in the world that he don't need. Stop telling me that Shakur hurt his feelings in an interview when he said he won't fight him. Stop telling me he talks shit. Because like I said, if that's what you pushing, he's talking crazy, then I'll tell you Jake Paul is talking crazy. They called the man out his name. He disrespected, you got his dad disrespecting his whole team. So is that how you get a fight? That's strictly to the narrative pushers. That's not about Tank. It's not do your thing, Tank. But these people clearly don't know shit and they don't represent you well. I'm here to say that. Some of y'all that think y'all Cornelius, my dog. Shout out to seeing the Rise podcast is in the building, my guy. The Butcher, what's good with it? What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? You getting? Ain't no all these magical ways to get fights and shit like that. Nah. He the man. You heard what he said in the tweet. He turning his back. Get it out the mud. That means I'm not fighting you. I ain't entertaining this shit. And regardless of who you signed to or not signed to, it ain't gone. You see what I'm saying? It's no specialty. Stop saying that. Oh, he said he wouldn't fight him. He ruined the chances of them fighting because they thought they was friends. What? When did they think they was friends? Like, I'd be lost. Are they competitors? It's the hurt business. They eventually going to end up in the same division with each other because neither guy is super big. You know what I'm saying? In terms of height and shit, like, they was always the best. They was some of the best amateurs. You didn't think they was going to end up in the same weight class with each other being at the top. I did. I didn't see that. That wasn't far-fetched. But that's to them narrative pushers, bro. All this, you can't work with Turkey. Hey, man, he can if he want to. Just like he could fight Shakur if he wanted to. Just like he's fighting Jake Paul because he want to. Just like he fought Lamont Roach because he wanted to. I'm not hearing nobody say that. They saying all this other shit. Nah, the fighter does what he wants to do, and he's letting you know that now. And then you wonder why he talking about walking away in 8 weeks. This is why I support shit like this. This is why I don't knock him. This is why anytime he's fought, I just supported it, and that's it. That's all. Yeah, I could say what I wanted to see, but I could also highlight what I actually seen, what he did give me. I'm not going to spend all my days talking about the fights he didn't give me. I'm going to talk about what he did give me while he was here. Gave us 31 fights, and I hope he go out there, and nothing against Jake, but I hope he go out there for boxing and represent for boxing and beat Jake up and go make his bag and go do whatever it is he want to do next. But again, I'm going to say this so y'all all hear me. Double tap that screen, hit that like button, sub to the channel, support the grind. The biggest difference between them is their why. Tank seen money. He got built to chase money. That's what he did. That's what he got. Shakur has been bred to be one of the best fighters in the world his entire life. You could try to argue with me if you want to. That's a fact. He's been trying to prove it as an amateur. He's still been trying to prove it as a pro. His recent move or the negotiations that's going back and forth with Teofimo Lopez directly illustrates his mentality. The Tank Davis, his next move directly illustrates his mentality. Money and securing my future. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Because he told you that's what it was. Y'all just forced it to be something else. I heard somebody tell me he cared about legacy after he said he didn't. Y'all arguing against him. He's telling you one thing, y'all saying another. And then today, I got to address this as far as it's the retirement talk. Y'all keep saying, y'all was in there typing in the chat. Y'all know where y'all was at typing. Y'all was talking some shit over there today. Y'all keep saying, why do we keep talking about him retiring? Why do he keep talking about retiring? Why y'all don't ask him why he keeps saying it? And with any other fighter, you're able to say, well, damn, when you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that's not good. Why you saying that? At some point, he eventually going to do it. If he's saying it more and more publicly, he's saying it behind the scenes, saying it in different interviews. What does that tell you? At some point, he might just do it. And then when he makes a move that essentially sets you up for life after boxing, I say, damn. Then he doubled down again. I'll be out in 8 weeks. I don't know if he out in 8 weeks, but I don't think he should keep echoing those sentiments to his fans while he's actively competing if he's not going anywhere. So the fact that he kind of ramped up how much he was saying he was going to retire, he kept saying it. I'm like, you hear it more. Hitchens touched on it. He said hairs. I think somebody, I ain't even check it, man. My guy sent me an interview. I think it's a new interview, and he might have talked about walking away again. He said he out in 8 weeks. Y'all don't sound like y'all appreciate him. No way. Y'all like, he a prize fighter anyway. Get out of boxing when everybody's a prize fighter. But you get me? Y'all making wild-ass arguments. You get what I'm saying? Y'all saying people hurt his feelings is why he not fighting the best guys in the world. That's crazy talk, man. Tank, man, the biggest supporters, they're not paying attention to what you saying and what you doing too. Every time I'm asked about a fighter, I don't never say yes, and I give you an explanation and downplay that guy. That's not somebody I'm looking to fight. You want to think he's scared? That's on you. I'm not pushing that weird shit. He just don't seem interested in fighting the fights that y'all want to see him fight. Why? You could argue about it all you want. I could care less. I mean, it just is what it is. OP, my guy, Opulent, what's good, Brody? Clay Moore, what's good? Homie, how you feeling? Peace to my guy. So his heart not in it no more. I think that's possible too, though. But you know what's funny? You never know when a fighter gets to that point. And I've said it time and time again.
you heard him express disdain for the sport, like and like frustration, and sounding like just like he unsatisfied with it, right? Like you cool with the money, but I always said anybody that had a lucrative 6-7 fight deal wouldn't be talking about retiring if they wasn't tired of the sport. You know, some people would say, well, nah, he retiring, he's trying to get away from fighting those guys. Nah, it ain't that. It ain't that shit. I mean, you can argue that if you want. I'd rather say something that's more, you know, plausible. Like you've heard the rumblings for a while. You've seen the change up with PBC and how they've been getting out their cards. And like, think about something. I don't care what nobody say. This is just my opinion. Y'all telling me everything is just perfect over there at the PBC? There's no way you make Lamont Roach and Isaac Pitbull Cruz pay-per-view. So it's no way. I'm sorry. There is no way you make that fight pay-per-view. And everything is just fine and dandy. And then you thinking about a guy making a move with a dude that's outside of his I guess his people, right? It's Jake Paul and Netflix. That ain't the PBC. That right? That's the B-side to that. But it's like Turkey, there's no way that shit can happen. You see? See how that shit don't sound? It don't make a lot of sense when you say it. That's why I say, man, at the end of the day, you just never know. But I don't think Lamont Roach and Isaac Pitbull Cruz is pay-per-view worthy. I get that maybe they feeling like Lamont Roach is maybe reaping some benefits of the carryover from Tank, and they're two guys that went the distance with him, but not enough for pay-per-view. Not enough for $80 pay-per-view, y'all. Nah, I ain't forget, Ray. I wanted it longer, Tay. I wanted it longer, but my guy, you know, for restrictions purposes, he ain't want to make it too long. Said play that box raw. Oh, yeah. I got you. That's what it was. I got you. Y'all double tap that screen. I got you. I ain't even check it. That's what I was talking about. Let me get to it. Let me see where it's at. Where you sent it on Twitter, I think, right? I'm thinking it would be pay-per-view anyway. I hope not. Yeah, they can't do that. It better not be pay-per-view, but them cards can't be pay-per-view like that. Them shit stink, man. That one, no. Especially after Tank fighting for free. Hell no. Hold on, where's that? Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I got you. That PBC allows you to get your own money. I think so. I think that their model changed, and I could be wrong, but it seems like it's clear. It's clear that it did, and I think that's why you see more of their fighters readily fighting on Turkey cards. I think that's why you see Tank taking a Jake Paul fight. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? I think those are moves that doesn't have to be fully facilitated and backed by what the PBC is doing, right? That don't have to be a move that they're making where they ain't putting up the money for it. So, I mean, you kind of see it. You see a little evidence of some things obviously changing out there, and you see it. Tank versus Jake fight is free. Yeah, that shit free. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's free, and then y'all gonna charge us for that is crazy. So y'all tap. I think in this case, you know, I be hearing people say, well, why you keep listening to what Tank say? I don't listen to Tank. I pay attention to what he do. And for me, I'm like, I think what he's saying and doing is lining up right now. Like, I think if you hear him as a guy that's being frustrated with the sport and talking about leaving, you hear him speaking about life after boxing to a degree, right? I think it's finally all lining up. I think what he's saying is lining up with what he's doing. And I think that's his Jake Paul fight might be an exit strategy. Or a cushion, you know what I mean? But I think it could be some of both. For a fact, PBC prospects will be fighting on local cards throughout the country in 2026. This is a fact. That's what I'm saying.
Trash.
What changed? What made you?
This shit is trash, garbage. I don't care about belts and I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about none of that. That's why I don't want boxing more. I want to do therapy, right? It will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me, man. So I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry.
Bro.
And I have 2 girls, 2 daughters.
Don't tell them
I'm living without being seen.
But with a celebrity of your status, right? How do you just disappear and vanish?
Don't tell them nothing, Tank, because they don't want to hear that part. They don't want to hear what he think and how he feel. They just want to talk about the fights they want. They like, hell with you. Dude said he got daughters. You got to respect it. You know what I'm saying? Gotta respect all that shit he's saying. He can't do it, still boxing. That's why Jake Paul fight makes sense if you on your way out. That's why, y'all. That's exactly why. That's why it makes sense if you on your way out. Gee, that's why. That's all. He want to change, and you seeing the energy different from the press conferences, having it like artificial motivation, as I call it, right? Looking for little shit to just be hyped up off. I could be reading it wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know what I mean? You're just not looking like you're in the mood, right? He said he want all of it up out of him. I'm going to play it again. Y'all don't get it. That shit is real, man. When you ready to change, bro, that shit could come sudden, and it could come at the craziest time. And I know it's at a time where they like, man, what about all these fights? And he like, what about them? I don't care.
Why you retiring, Tank? Why you retiring?
What changed? What made you?
This shit is trash, garbage. I don't care
What changed?
about
Nobody remembers he said trash.
belts and I don't care about that
Face,
shit.
you treat him like a face. Yeah.
That's why I don't want boxing more. I want to do therapy, right? It
We'll
will
talk
lose
about
the
that,
fire
though.
that I have inside me. I want everything out of me, man. So I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry. And I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I want to be living without being seen.
But with a celebrity of your status, right? How do you just disappear and vanish?
Man, so there you go, man. I thought that was my boy Senior in the back too asking that question. Shout out to Senior from the Rise podcast. But yeah, man, just wanted to play that just so people could hear it. And shout out to Uncle Villain. You said when they said you know, treat him like the face. Yeah, the thing is, when they said that, look how he was treated. He had a press conference that looked like, I don't know, auditorium, gymnasium. I don't know which one you want to say. It was one of them. It looked like just wasn't ideal for where Tank has his press conferences, right? That's what it looked like. It just looked like at that moment, you know, even a Frank Martin, he looked like he was in a good space, but then it still had this quietness about him. Like, I don't know, man. But I seen it carry over with Lamont, Roach, and speaking consistently. Like, you start to hear consistency in the things that he's putting out. And like I said, how many times are you going to speak about retirement before you actually do it? That's where I'm at. I feel like now is more of a reason to pay attention to him than any other time, right? Y'all like to talk about these guys' money a lot, right? I don't really care about their money because it's not mine. But there's a consensus out there. They sold all them pay-per-views with the Ryan fight. That him and Ryan made somewhere $30+ million a piece, or he made X amount of million. Now you telling me he about to make another 40, possibly 50 or more $1 million payday, and he gonna want to come back to the sport because of what? Why is he gonna want to come back? When people already saying you ain't done nothing, and all them get 30-year-old press, get what I'm saying? You get tired of hearing that shit. You like, bro, let me get this and get up out of here, because it don't matter who I fight, they're gonna complain, and we learned that already. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, except he didn't make the fights, and that's why the fights ain't happen. Yeah, Claymore, like you could say those he didn't prioritize the biggest fights. I'm safe saying that because I know that doesn't hold him in a negative light or slander. I just don't think it was a priority. And again, why I come to that conclusion, because he sat in an interview and said he don't ask for fights. If you're not asking for the fights, and he's saying when the contract comes, you say yay or nay, that's clearly telling me you're not prioritizing the names that people want to see, just making the fights that make the most business sense for you at the time. Simple. I'm not knocking him. Not knocking him, because it's a lot about the game that we don't get. And like I said, man, I think a lot of these dudes get tired of being underappreciated by people that can't do what they do. Anger, the bloodlust. You just stay. You want to stay at the top. Yeah, he probably want to go out on the top too. You know what I'm saying? Probably want to go out on the top. Time was good with it, homie. How you feeling? Said, why can't we celebrate a man that started from nothing? Yeah, talk about it. And is now wealthy and might retire. Good job changing your life. And then not to even get to the people's lives around him that he could have changed, bro. Why is that not enough? Like, because look, it's not the end of the world if he didn't want what you thought he wanted. So, all right. Don't do it. Change him as a fighter. Do it change the way y'all think any of those fights play out? Not really. Not really. But that's that. I believe that fits into his why. That's the shit. And then it's like people look past everything that he has done because of the few things that he has. And I don't think that math is mathing for him. And as a result, bro, son, he ready to be out. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right based on what he's been saying. Shout out to my dog behind Hands TV. Job well done, Tank. Job well done, champ. Well done, man. Putting your people in position. Well done putting your people in position and doing it your way, bro. They're gonna have to live with it. But this is what I be hearing, bro. When they be making all them narratives, yo, them super dupers, yo, this is why I hear. Yeah, when they be making all them narratives that don't stand up, I just hear this.
Thank you. Basically what I'm doing right here, I'm lifting your sprocket cables up and fixing your transmission denominator right here in the back on Yang. And then I'll probably go ahead and give you a tune up on your throttle dyno. And then go ahead and put some spoiler sprocket cables in the back so it'll come together into the alignment. And it's going to get the alignment right when you go and get your the inside of your engine shaft located. You see what I mean?
Explain it.
Alright, so basically it's like, you know, like underneath your jet oil, right there where you got the sprocket cable dang in the back under, and then you can put the piston shaft naggins that connect into with the tubes that go into the radiator brigadiator on the Yang. You blend that together and then you get a blend in the back of the throttle.
That's how they be sounding, bro. You ask them a simple question, that's how they start talking. They just going, just talking. Like, what? So why
dummy ain't out there don't understand Goot. Basically what I'm saying is I'm big as Goot, and I'm gonna lift his shacks all the way to the bizzin. On you.
Oh, I got it. Got it. Say no more. Say no more, Shank. I got you. I know none of what you said, but I got you. That's what that is. That's what I hear when y'all be trying to explain all the reasons why the fights didn't happen. That's what I hear. I swear, every single time I hear bad narrative, that's what I hear. I can't fight him. He on top rank. Negotiate with Loma. What happened to the top rank shit? That's the video that I hear every time. I don't hear. Yo, I'm telling you, that one, yo, that ain't it, bro. I'm telling you, that video. Hold on, man. I got another one, bro. I got another one. Where is it at? Let me see if I still got it in here, bro. Y'all know I'm the clip king. I be playing. I'm a play fiend sometime, but that's how I be feeling, bro. That's how I be like, bro, what is they talking about? Like, they just gonna just keep making up wild ass excuses. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be sounding, bro. Man, I had another one, man, with these two dudes having a conversation, bro. You had to hear it. Man, I'm mad. I deleted it, yo. I deleted it. You had to hear the one with the two dudes having a conversation. It was wild. And the Baltimore accent is always goated to me. It's funny. Shout out to C's, man. I got you, Teach. I got you. Shout out to C's. Appreciate you, homie. If you're new in the building, double tap that screen, subscribe to the channel. We're going to rock out for a few more minutes, man. I just want to spend some time to take out to say I appreciate everybody that pull up, rock out with me, support. Whether you agree or not, you pull up and you support. And I appreciate you for it. We just talked it's going to be 3 hours when we done. Without tearing Tank Davis down, without tearing Shakur and his fans down or Tank and his fans. But I did have questions for the Tank super fans that push the narratives. It's unfortunate that 4 o'clock, they not on YouTube no more. I wish they was, because I could have a real good conversation with them. And they could speak to the other side. Maybe they understand something different than what I understand. But like I said, man, we got to stop helping the business of boxing push bullshit narratives. If two fighters want to fight, the size of the street's really not going to matter all that much. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Two fighters want to fight, they fight. I really believe that. Unless somebody is obviously trying to, pull them in a different direction. But when guys are not prioritizing fights, you ain't going to your people saying, give me that guy, and it's a risky fight, you're more than likely not going to see it unless somebody is pushing for it. You know what I'm saying? And just for example, you even seen that where Ryan had to push for a Tank fight, right? He had to go against his people a little bit, right? And, you know, De La Hoya was like, man, don't go messing with Tank's a beast. Remember, you need a back. All that shit. He still went and made that fight. That's why I say, man, sometimes we brag about the power that we feel like fighters have, but we don't give them the responsibility that comes with that power. Notice, and I made the point, Canelo Alvarez is a you know, A-side guy, right? He makes his fights. Nobody turns him down. He gets the Jaime McGee's of the world, all them guys. You already know, Carl. Yo, the link, bro. I was trying to get you to come out. I know if you know the link was in the community post, bro. Maybe next time, because I'm pretty sure the conversation will come up again. I'm gonna just leave it alone from here on out. Because like I said, y'all, as a fight fan, I really supported both of these dudes. I support both of them. And I don't have to have a negative outlook on one guy or the other to make my point, right? You see the way that I got to my conclusion of why fights don't happen or why this particular fight not gonna happen. You see how I went as far as to telling you the way they think is different. Their whys is different. You can hear it. One guy bigs up the fight, tells everybody it's the biggest fight in boxing. That's what he want. That's what he want. The other guy, oh man, that ain't shit. That's not a guy that want to fight. And then I hear y'all making an argument. Hold on, man. I heard some of y'all making this wild-ass argument that Tank is somehow waiting for Shakur to get better to fight him.
Tank is a very awkward dude, man. And I'm not trying, like, almost, and I'm not trying to.
Not that one. Let me get that out of there. I didn't mean to play that one. It's one where a guy says Shakur is not ready for the fight. You know he not ready. That's why he's trying to fight T.O. I think he couldn't be more wrong. I think Shakur trying to fight T.O. because T.O. helps him move the needle where he needs to move it. I think T.O. allows him, if he beats him, to get the kind of win where you got to respect it from real boxing fans, right? And it'll be like a one-off and him going back down. So, like I've always said, y'all, for me, I respect they wise. I respect the guy that came from nothing at all to a whole lot of something. Did it his way. Got out with his faculties, healthy. Get what I'm saying? With his family intact and being a motivation for the youth, for the Upton gym, for Baltimore as a whole, a community. You know what I mean? Then he purchased properties out there and all of that. He could focus on some different stuff, right? He said he want all of that stuff out of him. And it shouldn't be, if you really a true supporter of his and you talking about him, that should be something that come up. You should be talking about what he said, not what you think and what you feel. And I just hope that y'all paid attention and I showed y'all the difference between me and other people. I talk about how I think and how I see it, but I'm going to also play what these guys say and focus on what they say and how they feel about the shit they putting out there. That man told you what it was. You just chose not to listen. Simple and plain. He understands the power that he have. If he could say, I'll turn my back on you, get it out the mud, that means exactly that. They ain't seeing eye to eye. So whatever it is, bro, I ain't fighting you. Go do you, and I'm doing me. So, and that's no different than what Floyd told him all along, right? Remember Floyd told everybody, y'all keep worried about Tank. Once y'all go fight each other, stop worrying about us. We're going to get this money. What did they do? Got this money, right? Cool. No negative criticism. He beat the odds, bro. That's what I'm able to put over, you know, how I feel about what fights I wanted to see. I'm able to see what he really did out here. Like that shit. Think about something. Most of us will never meet a guy that's as successful as what he is in this profession that he's in. Most of us won't, right? A guy like that. That's a success story, bro. He gon' when he hang him up and his kids look at the work he put in them 31 fights, think they gonna be sitting here talking about my dad ain't do shit. He ain't accomplished nothing. He's a nobody. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Sonny Boy, you got to go to the community post, right? You know what a community post, right? Where I put all the pictures and stuff like that. Get what I'm saying? Where I put all the pictures and stuff at. But you get me.
his kids gonna look at that shit and they gonna be like, bro, daddy was doing this, dad, he knocked such and such out. What you think they're gonna think of that Leo Santa Cruz knockout when they old enough to process and understand how he slept, buddy? You get me? And they can go to all these different highlights of their dad and just see him knocking dudes out, beating guys' ass. You think they gonna look at him like he ain't shit? You think they gonna be yelling, but you ain't fight Shakur, but you ain't fight Tia. You get me? You think they're gonna give a damn? You think they're gonna be like, but you ain't fight this one? They're gonna be like, man, that's our dad. So that's what I'm saying. I think he can make peace with that. And I think fans got to learn to make peace with those type of things too. You get what I'm saying? What's good, fam?
Is that me up? Am I up?
Yeah, you up. You up.
I want to say one thing.
Talk to me.
A lot of guys out of Baltimore, right, not used to talking in front of a whole lot of people. So that stupid narrative about Tank Davis is stupid and can relate. They the ones that's stupid and just can't relate.
Talk to him.
To the young man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Real solid guy, I believe, because he come out the street of here.
Yeah.
Right from it. He got to be. Right. You know what I mean? A real strong guy, I believe. Especially under the teachings of Kenny and Cal.
Right.
The coaches, yeah. Real business.
I hate when people take the digs. Like, I get it, you know, but a lot of boxers ain't the most well-spoken guys, and you could tell with his temperament and energy, he seemed a little shy. He seemed like he had to adjust to the limelight. He seemed like a more shy, reserved, more, you know, in the cut. Like, think about how he lived, as far as not, you know, I don't know how he lived, but I'm saying his social media presence is, he don't abuse it. He could be up there all day if he want. He pop up when he fighting and shit like that. So,
into the chat, I'm a #1 fanboy. I'm a #1 fanboy. Since y'all want to be talking about that fan this and that, right? I'm a #1 fanboy. You know what I mean? Y'all fans too. I mean, if you got a podcast, y'all are fans. Reason why? Y'all get money off of youngin'.
So flex,
you fucking cocksucker punk motherfuckers. Y'all need to stop that shit.
Hold on, OG. Don't do that. Don't drop the
Respectfully, I mean disrespectfully. Y'all need to stop that shit. Especially if you're black. And then with that, I'm out, bro.
Appreciate you, OG. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. Man, y'all hit the like button, man. So y'all always welcome to come up here and speak y'all piece, man. You know, he was speaking OG from Baltimore. You know what I mean? He said he a #1 fanboy. But look, I'm a supporter of all these dudes. And real quick, while we wrapping up, man, shout out to everybody that rocked out to the end of the show, man. While we wrapping up, reason I don't call myself a fan of these guys is because I feel like fans are the ones that switch up when they don't get what they want, right? They got this weird mentality like, yeah, he ain't giving me what I want. I'm not watching him. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like anytime you make a decision, you did what was best for you at the time, right? Damn, who was that in the back? He did what's best for you at the time, right? So it's no different, right? So I know I have an option to support it or don't. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy, man. They investigating them cops. Said, hey, oh, good. Internal affairs. Shout out to Zoomverse. Appreciate you, bro. Good. He say, so what do you call yourself? And supporter, yeah. So that's why I call myself a supporter, bro, because fans switch up when they don't get what they want from fighters. When a guy miss weight, lose a belt on the scale, anything, guys just switch on to the next person, right? For example, when I seen Keyshawn miss weight and all that stuff happened with De Los Santos, I seen grown men saying how they not supporting the youngin no more. They don't rock with him no more. He don't take things serious. They just like, they act like these guys can't make mistakes. And you know, I make mistakes every day. So I don't think they're supposed to be out the realm of making mistakes, right? They're not immune to making mistakes. They're going to make them too. So it is what it is. But fans switch up on fighters depending on the time of the day or if they're getting what they want
supporters rock with him through and through. If you look at the track record, despite whether or not you agree with my takes on Tank or the fight, you could disagree. I wouldn't suggest it. You better off just having a conversation with me. But I look at things far differently than the average person, man. Whole streaming normal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For me too, Thomas, I think real quick, I think anybody that's seeing the vertical live and not seeing it in a regular format, I think it's gonna take a while. Cause on my screen, it don't, like, I look at it like that too. It come up like the regular way. It's been doing that for a while. It wasn't doing that at first, so it's something that they just changed, I believe. It's something that they changed. It wasn't like that. Make mistakes. Yeah, yeah, I'm saying you got to make some mistakes, right, bro? You got to. I don't know why we don't got 100 likes yet, but I don't even care. Got to make some mistakes, man. But yeah, man, fans are fair weather. Those are the people that switch up. Those are the people that push narratives. Those are the people that do hit pieces, that spend countless hours trying to disprove Tank is not who he say he is. I haven't spent 1 second of my day doing that. He's a phenomenal fighter. That's what I'm going to keep looking at him as. That's what he's shown me. Until I see something different, I have no reason to say anything different. You know what I'm saying? Obeying. What it do? On my high. What's good, yeah.
Oh, my bad, man. I didn't know that I had, my thumbs is super wide, though. So sometimes when I hit this stuff, I'll be texting stuff, but it just don't be looking right at times. Mm-hmm. But on my screen, it come back like it normally used to before you had made that transition to the other side.
Yeah. So, like, let me explain this real quick. Y'all see how the leaderboards and all that stuff be coming up? Y'all don't expect y'all to remember, but when they first rolled that out, other channels had it and mine didn't. And I was thinking something was wrong. I'm like, I go to people trying to see this leaderboard shit. I don't see it on mine, but it just take a while to roll out. So I'm thinking at some point, y'all chats is not going to look like the vertical where it kind of disappears, kind of like you on IG Live, because they be listening and seeing the comments and they be seeing people, complaining about not being able to see it in a regular format. So since then they changed it. Like mine is no longer like that. It's the regular way. That's why I be kind of, looking and seeing how y'all see it in here. But I think that's why you see it like that, T Hill.
Yeah,
man, shout out to anybody that pulls up on a TV, Xbox, anything outside of a phone.
For sure.
Shout out to y'all.
For sure. Shout out to my good brother Cal Cooley, man. I must have accidentally hit a P instead of a L and called it Cap Cooley. So he said I was out here smacking him, dog. I got too much respect for my guy to ever do something like that, man. I was
Calvin, Kenny, Squeeze, and Senior Facts, man, in the family, bro. Like that's why I say, man, I'll be disappointed to see some of the way some of y'all talk, but y'all not real.
People be talking reckless.
That's why y'all talk with so emotion. Yeah. For me, if I ever offer up any commentary in your chat, it's to help the conversation. I'm supposed to speak to the other side, unless you want a fucking echo chamber and you want everybody saying the same exact thing. I'm not here for that. Like, and you see it. Anybody that had their ears on, understand that what I just had was a decent conversation surrounding what I think. Not once did I tell y'all facts after everything I say, because it don't be facts. That's just my opinion. So, yeah, I don't think I gave a dumb opinion. I think I gave a better assessment than most of these assholes gonna give. And like, again, dudes don't even think about what a fighter why is. Meaning, why the fuck they even in the sport? What do they set out to get? And a lot of times you can find that information and listen to the very first interviews of said fighter. They'll tell you exactly what they be on. Get what I'm saying? Go to them first interviews right there and listen to them dudes. I'm telling you, you will hear that kid from Brick City who's always talking about being the best. And that's still the shit he on. So when he want to fight guys, I don't think it's nothing personal. I think he knows, look, I know how much shit I've heard him say it. I've talked to him. I know how much shit I talk. I got to be the dick, take it out when it come back. But that's the only way you can prove this shit you talk is if you fight the other guys that they deem dangerous. So when I hear, this fight didn't happen, he was talking shit, or he didn't take 25% over here, it's like, you notice when it come to him in them fights, it don't be nothing like real that you can stand on. It'd be like bullshit or something that somebody's just pushing. Told you, man, the proof is out here, bro.
Look at it. You heard a guy in Bob Am not even working with him no more. That said, yo, he still want to work with him. He's like, he's a good kid, man. That dude is not a fool, man. But he said he has never turned down a fight, ever. So who I'm supposed to believe? Somebody on YouTube or the guy that's working with him, that signed him and making the fights. The people in boxing that's unanimously saying this shit are the YouTube people, the content creators that got a personal and most of them favorite fighter is a certain somebody, but we're going to leave it there, right? That's what I'm saying. Who do y'all expect me to listen to? The guy that's making the fight saying, yo, this guy ain't never turned down no fight. And that's the facts. It's just been that way still to this day. So if somebody can beat his little ass, his little young ass, please somebody do it. I've been waiting, man. If y'all gonna get in there and do it, T.O., you on deck, man. You next. You can do it. You gonna get your just do over here. But I think you about to
Respectfully, T.O. ain't getting in that ring with him, dog. You know he gonna.
I keep hearing, bro, that it's still positive. Like as far as
I hope so.
the energy and the back and forth, the negotiation, should I say, right?
I hope so.
I still ain't getting too high, but I ain't all out on it yet. Cause I ain't hear Bob come out. You notice when you hear Bob come out and diss it, you hear Bob come out and say nothing bad. That's better than coming out saying and shitting on it, right? Better stay silent and see if he gonna leave it up to T.O. to make his own destiny, because that's what he needs. Shout out to my brother Mike Kirk. You got common sense, you use logic. As I still hang around. A lot of people that don't say cool to hang around. Man, shout out to my guy, man, Mike Kirk. I appreciate it. Keep me balanced, man. A lot of people don't get it. And the only mistake is coming in here assuming just because a guy is my favorite fighter that I'm not gonna be honest. That don't mean I'm supposed to say the shit that you want me to say. I'm not doing that. I know what I'm watching. I know what I'm seeing. Like, and I even hypothetically switch their places. Get me? You got Tank out here bigging up Shakur and talking about how he want to fight, and it's the biggest fight, and he won it. And then Shakur on the other end gets downplaying it. What y'all gonna say? Y'all gonna say he don't want that shit? But because he ain't your favorite fighter, you can't see it being that way. And not wanting it don't mean scared. Newsflash, y'all. Not wanting it could mean simply that I don't want it. It's as simple as wanting to do something like what? Fight a YouTuber because he fucking wants it. Nothing more. It's no real rocket science behind it. There's no way to try to overanalyze it, bro. Fighters do what they want, especially when they can. And that's what he's doing. Salute.
Yeah, man. I pray that I like Ant just put down there. T.O.'s making it to the ring with the pray sign up there. I pray that he do, man, because I want that humbling to come.
Me too.
Man, I want that humbling to come.
Me too. And you know what? Not for nothing. It'll prove something, man. It'll, not even to Shakur fans. Like that pushes us more in that right direction of making boxing great. And he'll have did something that y'all favorite fighter done before. But the difference is he took a more established guy. Now I'm not comparing them in that way. I'm just saying in terms of their mentality, you only want to do that if you're trying to be great. You only do that if you're trying to be great. We gotta start giving these fighters excuses. We're not worried about what his kids doing, how anybody's stupid. It's a sport, and he ain't proved to be what they claim he is, and he is a liar. Say one thing, do the opposite. I think all fighters do that. Mind yours, and it's not really excuses. What you call it is an excuse. I call it reality or understanding. We don't give the fighters that. We take our assumptions and we pass them off as facts. So yeah, they might have sold something once upon a time, but you know one thing he's always sold, being a prize fighter and making money, and telling people why he didn't want to be in boxing and or what he wanted out of boxing, should I say? And it just is what it is. I think people, despite who he didn't fight at this point, he's still one of the best fighters in the world. Just where he stacks up against all of the absolute elite talent is the question. But he's proven that at least. That's why we want to see those other fights. I say this all the time. But
Yeah. We definitely want to see those other fights.
hey, man, I don't think he cared. I think he was sold that these dudes are not on your level. I think Floyd spent a lot of time telling them these other guys, you don't got to fight. The Lomas, T.O.s, Devin, none of these dudes on your level.
Damn it, we need to get Floyd on the phone and tell them niggas that they are. So that we can get the fight. I just want to see the fights, dog.
Because he started talking a certain way, and I was like, "Damn, you make it sound like y'all not." Like he started to sound like he has no idea why y'all would even ask him about a certain fighter, and I'm like, seem like somebody is like that's schooling, grooming, like, yo, yeah, man, these guys ain't fucking with you, man. See, you sell tickets, you knock shit out. Look, he go 12, he went the distance when you would have knocked him out. Like, because think about how the fans be talking. Yo, you go 12 rounds with a pit. Imagine what they say. And shit, the same thing they said about him going 12 rounds with Pitbull or motherfucking what's his name?
But you know, the cool part about that also too is like in that example you just stated. But I mean, hell, Duran went 12 rounds with Sugar Ray. That nigga got knocked out by Tommy Hearns. Got sparked. You know, sometimes it just play out that way, bro. I mean,
regardless of why you had to build up for 6 years, cause I mean, I think you're gonna chase a title. I think you're gonna be a world champion, right? I just think that come with it. That's something that I think he wanted to accomplish, and it's one of them things where you gotta take it from me if you know, or strip me or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? I don't have all the answers, bro, but I can tell you, man, you as good as him, it would have been a crime for him not to be able to call himself a world champion at one point. Get what I'm trying to say? So.
But I feel what you're saying though, man. Like on the topic, man. I'm not here to beleaguer anything, man. If that's what it get, that's what we get. That's what we get. I would hope that he don't retire. I would hope that he does continue fighting. I would hope that we would get those fights. But if not, man, you know, just gotta look at the fights that are being made, and that we are gonna get to see. But I mean, hell. That's how I am. I don't like how people just actively dump on these damn fighters, and they do it only for certain fighters. They don't do every fighter alike like that. It was literally people that did what they claim others are doing, and they give no energy to that. They give no press to that.
That's
there are some content creators that will say nothing of that. Matter of fact, they will big them up, and then in the next breath, they will shoot down one of the fighters that always get into.
Just think about something, mind yours. Without him fighting any of these guys that you talking about, how many outside of that list of people you talking about him fighting, right? How many of them other guys outside of that small list of people you want him to fight, you got beaten? That'll give you an idea how phenomenal he is. He is phenomenal, bro. It's thousands of people that fight. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of fighters, bro. And I get it. I know I'm like stripping it down, but I'm really trying to get you to gauge what percentage he fits in of fighters that are good. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about why you would want to see any of those fights. So he fought real fights because every fight is a real fight. But I know what you're saying. You talking about the best absolute competition that boxing has to offer. Those guys still out there. I get that. But think about all the work he's put in. I think you go from 126, fight at 30, 35, 40, and so on. I don't think you can do that shit without being phenomenal, right? Like it's other ways to assess how good a fighter is outside of the resume. I know that might be one of the, the strongest talking points. You use the resume, right? He fought this. I get that, but I think it's how you beat these guys, like size. There's some shit with him. You giving up size, height, weight all the time. You always being a smaller guy. That shit ain't shit easy about that, yo. And he knocking guys out. Barrios is 6 foot, bro. That shit look crazy. He went there and kicked his ass, and then they try to diminish the win. Oh, he was drank. I don't want to hear that. I want to see you go knock out some big ass dude like that, being some undersized man, right? So it wasn't etched in stone that he was supposed to do that. It wasn't etched in stone that he was supposed to make Leo Santa Cruz, a guy with a pretty solid chin, take a nap against his will and spark so many other guys. Like, get me? I think that is special, bro. I do. How special, it remains to be seen. Does he leave something to be desired? Do he leave something up here on the tape? Yes, for sure. That's cool. But I think he showed to a degree how special he is, but we just don't know, where he stops at, right? We don't know where that ceiling or cap at because we feel like he hasn't pushed it to the absolute max. But he has pushed it. That's a little guy, man. My daughter taller than him. I always say that. And she ain't no damn giant. I just want to make that clear. That dude is a little ass man, and he be smoking some shit. So I think that is maybe making pretty special, bro. But how special is your question? And I get it. It's fair. You know what I'm saying? But look, I'll say this. Look at Terence Crawford, bro. They doing the same thing right now. They doing the same thing. He ain't fought nobody. All he fought was Earl and Canelo, or just Canelo. And now they saying Canelo not even elite no more. Think about that, bro. They spent his 2 biggest fights. They spent a big portion of their argument talking about resume and why he wouldn't win is because of who he didn't fight. But look how it planned out. You get what I'm saying, bro? Resume not the end all be all. It's how you beat people when you fight too. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, man. Somebody, that's T Hill audio. My bad, T Hill audio. Y'all double.
That's my bad. If I'm making noise, let me go on there. Pull out. My bad. I apologize for that.
Oh, good. They do have a certain look, that's for sure, and guaranteed they look like us. Shooting down up and comers nowadays. Yeah, man. Gotta big up the sport, bro. Gotta big up the sport, man. It needs it. They need more support, bro. They need more people that understand what's going on with the sport in its entirety, not just a couple fighters. And I'm gonna try to do a better job at doing that too. I try to have a real logical conversation. I wish some of the people would have came and clicked that link so I could have talked to a couple of them, but I'm not surprised that people don't tune in, or certain people that do all that typing in chats, full paragraphs and shit, because y'all don't be looking to have conversations. Y'all be looking to have like arguments, or y'all want to hear an echo chamber. Y'all want to hear everything you saying is facts. Everything you saying is real, but it's not the case. Y'all out here blaming fighters for why other guys are doing exactly what they want to do, and justifying why guys are accepting disrespect from one guy as opposed to another. Y'all justifying not doing business with one of the guys that's been a part of one of the biggest fights, or a couple of the biggest fights in boxing. You're justifying all types of weak ass talking points for the fighters that they don't need, man. So like I said, I'm gonna continue to support boxing because I think that's what boxing needs, man. So with that, man, I appreciate everybody that rocked out, tuned in to another build of this boxing. Y'all make sure y'all double tap that screen on the way out. Sub to the channel if you new. Keep supporting. We're going to keep building, man. Y'all already know. Cuddy, my dog, man. You kind of late, man. We was just wrapping up, man. Levon down Gaither, my guy. What's good, homie? Yeah, man. Yup, facts. And over here, you know what I'm saying? Over here, we support boxing, man. Not just one fighter, not just our favorite. We support all of these guys. You know, very rarely are you gonna have anybody speak this long about Tank without slandering him, but over here you will. No slander, no dissing, no false narratives attached to his name, just strictly giving you my assessment of what I think based off of what he said and the things that he's done that led up to this point. That's it, that's all. It's not no protection of one fighter trying to make it seem like no fighter can do no wrong, but at the end of the day, you got to do a better job at speaking on both sides. And that's what my challenge still stands. See if y'all can talk boxing for a week straight. Yeah, because a day is too easy, even though most of y'all probably can't do that. Let's see if y'all dope-ass content creators out there could talk boxing for a week straight without slandering nobody the way I just did. Show me you can do it. Show me you can do it, man. Don't show me, show your audience you can do it. Talk that boxing shit without shitting on nobody for a week straight. No fan slander. No opposite fighter slander. None of that. Just straight building on boxing, giving people they just do. I challenge anybody to that shit. And I bet you I'll be here all day till somebody do it. Go, you got Paul Williams or Fundora. Oh, shit. Man, I got Paul Williams, Mike. I got Paul. Paul was a mother for, man. Fundora, Linky, but Paul a little different, man. Paul a little different, man. Paul will give you hell, yo. Nah, Paul will get in there and he'll catch you, bro. He punch harder than he looked, man. I'm going with Paul Williams. Who you got? Who you got, Mike? I'm going with Paul. Yeah, there's other great fighters. But I just like to make sure I'm the type of fight fan that no matter who you did or didn't fight, I'm able to appreciate what you did do. In boxing, a lot of times we get caught up in talking about the shit you didn't do or what you didn't give us yet or what we want to see. We don't really talk about what you did show us. And like I said, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. Tank Davis showed me he's one of the coldest in the game. This is why we want to see him in there with the Shakurs, the Devin Haney's, the T.O.s, or whoever else you want to see him in there with. This is why we want to see him in there with world-class, top-level fighters, because he's at least proven to you that he's been of that cloth. And you just want to see how good he is. And the only way to answer that is those guys. So is what it is. Said thanks. Hope you said Paul. Yeah, I said Paul, Mike. I got Mike. I got Paul. I like Paul's dog, man. Like Paul got that dog in him, man. And he throw a lot of punches too. Got a high punch output. He'll get in the mix and mix it up with you. That'd be a really good fight, but I'm going with Paul. Definitely going with Paul, Mike. But much love. Appreciate you, my brother. As always, support. I think keep gonna be Fandora. I hope he do, Cuddy. Hope he do. But with that, y'all, we just spent 3 hours giving Boxing is Just Do how we always do, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so y'all could be notified. We be live 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. We're going to keep building. Shout out to my brother, Ant McQueen. You know it. Stressed Out Boxing. Jonathan Park. Definitely want to see Tank fight the best. Ain't nothing wrong with that because we fight fans, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with it, Jonathan. We all want to see it. But I think sometimes fighters don't want what we want. And I think this is a prime example of that. And I don't think it has nothing to do with being scared or ducking. I just think it's a matter of prioritizing fights that the people want to see. Some fans, some fighters care about that. Tank Davis told us directly out his mouth he do not. So with that, you just got to respect it. I do, and I choose to support him. And, give him his just due anyway, regardless of what fight he didn't make. So with that, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all good Monday. Much love to everybody. Peace.
Representing Brick City, Shakur.
Finding those levels too. Look at that 4-punch combination. It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. Right hand, Shakur meeting him with straight left hand.
Oh, there's a knockdown score with the left hand.
Right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother Just Do.